No one is there now when you guys are live.
Nobody there. Is it live right now?
Yeah. Hi guys. Hi guys. I'm Jack again. Jack.
We had to get a replacement Jack for the new year because the other one's I think still hung over.
I'm way
Christmas.
better than an empty chair, guys. Way better.
And as usual, we're starting the year off right.
Yeah. Some sort of fiasco or another.
Yep.
Get the fuck out of my chair.
You weren't here.
Okay, there we got that. I'll get the water. We're starting it off real classy, like.
That's right. Look at that bad boy. How do you like them apples?
No,
All right, there we go.
no apples.
So now we finally have the yin and yang, the double design there.
Until I get my black mug because I'm jealous, and
Yes.
it'll just be back to the same old, same old. Anyways,
Cheers. Happy
yeah,
New Year
cheers.
to you.
Happy New Year
And
to
everyone in the
you
chat.
and every lovely face out there in the chat. This is Digital Fiasco Live.
It
We're
is.
live here for another Monday night, starting 2019.
2019.
My name's Dandr0id.
And I am Jack McBastard. And this is Digital Fiasco Live, episode 52.
Fix your hat.
Fix your hat.
My hat is fixed, thanks.
This is the way I like my hat. You know how many stores I had to go to get one that sits off center?
I don't know, 3.
At least 3.
At least.
A minimum of 3. Yeah. Still waiting on your mug. Well, you know, it's... I think it's right up there as your reward for the Kickstarter for your unnamed mobile game that we still have not actually.
Yeah. How's that going for
Yeah.
you? I'm sure he's shopping it around.
Hey, discount. You want to throw me my phone there?
It's kind of important.
Yes.
Although you have all your notes right there.
I do, but just in case, I need to have my phone handy. I think discount
He
is
has
not
his
listening.
headphones on. And he's on a delay. Oh, it's unfortunate. Janus Digital has closed its mobile gaming division. It's rough times, man.
Did you get a cease and desist from Nintendo too?
Well, he was using all the Mario sprites in his
Yeah.
game, so that probably.
So I
woke
went
the
over
beast.
there and discounts watching a movie trailer for something else entirely.
I'm not.
It's all good. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
it's somewhat less compelling testimony after 5 times asking you to hand me my phone.
I'm not dead yet.
I'm sorry. I'm listening to the stream on my Twitch. So that I can see
I guess it was the ad maybe before the stream,
trying
but
to be quality
yeah,
control.
keep talking, keep talking. That
keep
makes
that
for a
quality
good
up.
stream. So how you doing? How was your Christmas? How was New
it
Year's?
It was Christmas.
Yeah.
I didn't get to have the full 2 weeks off, but
Yep.
it was still nice because it was quiet at work, and we still had a bunch of the days off anyways. Of course, like Boxing Day, New Year's Day, and all that
Yep.
stuff like that. So yeah, it was pretty awesome just to kind of like settle in and actually get some gaming done and whatnot, because some plans changed around, which allowed me a little more free time, which
Yeah.
was nice because I finally finished the Surge.
Oh.
It happened.
And Captain Quench and T.A. Star came to visit. Yeah, I wasn't able to make it out to there.
TK, well, welcome to the chat.
We did get Commander Santa his custom apron, though. That was quite nice.
Oh yes, that too. I just got to see that the other night.
Yeah. I was very proud of that.
Yeah, and yeah, it was a really good time just because it wasn't one of those ones where I'm like, okay, I get to like play this game for like 45 minutes and then I gotta go do other shit and whatnot. So I like sat down for a few hours here, a few hours there.
Yep.
Actually, went in, thoroughly enjoyed it. Absolutely amazing game. It was one of those ones that, just like Dark Souls, has New Game Plus, of course.
This was Le Surge?
Yeah, Le Surge.
Okay.
Or The Surge for English speakers.
If you're an English speaker.
But yeah, just like Dark Souls has
Yep.
a New Game Plus because the game wants more of you. So I finished the game. I was like, okay, done that game. I really enjoyed it. Now I
Yep.
can go on and play something else.
Nice.
I think a couple days later, I started New Game Plus. No, but that was just to kind of test the waters. I unless I get a bunch of free time for some odd reason, I don't think I could finish New Game Plus unless I completely dedicate myself to it.
Okay.
Because it is one of those situations where you don't just waltz through the game on New Game Plus because you get to keep all your cool shit and everything, and keep all your armor, all your upgraded stuff. But as soon as you start New Game Plus, they basically add in another 5 levels of alloys that you can pick up, like scrap alloys.
Oh, good lord.
So my stuff was leveled up to level 5, which is kind of like max level at the end of the game.
Right.
And then you hit New Game Plus, and they're like, oh, hey, now you can upgrade to level 10. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's awesome. And then the weirdest thing is, unlike Dark Souls, that when you hit New Game Plus, they just kind of crank up the difficulty of every enemy. So they have more aggressive AI, they take more damage, they deal more damage, all that kind of stuff. So it's just a harder experience through and through.
Right.
In the Surge, from what I experienced in the first area anyways, it's almost like they only tweaked the normal enemies, but they have a couple random one-off super boss-like enemies that just hang out in the big areas. But once you defeat them, they're gone.
Oh, so like an emerald weapon kind of deal.
Yeah, like almost like that. So you're walking through this factory and all these, zombie-like guys are wandering around and they're like, I can whirl in there and fucking take them out in like 6 or 7 hits and they barely even get a swing on me. But all of a sudden in this big area where there's like 3 or 4 of them hanging out, he's like crowd control almost. So I can't just go in and there, harvest them a bunch of times to get a bunch of scrap and everything like that. So this one badass guy is sitting there loping around, and then all of a sudden I'm like, that guy looks different for some reason. And all of a sudden he just like screams and starts like running at me and with his fucking staff pulled out, and I'm like, just like, oh fuck, this is different. So yeah, sure enough, I fight that guy. He kills me almost instantly. Luckily, I'm like literally 30 feet from the med bay, so I can just try it again and again
and again,
and then probably 10 more times until I really got down like his movements.
Yeah.
And I slowly plucked away at him, only to find out that he has a single-use med kit on him.
Oh, jeez.
So when I almost killed him, he kneels down for a quick second, plugs a med kit, and then he's like at full health again. I'm like, oh, you tricky fuck. So sure enough, a few more times, got the hang of it, took him out. So now there's no more crowd control in that area. But as you go along, there's like just these little instances later on where there's just, few little guys here and there.
Yeah.
Around all the little cheapy, boring guys, there's these guys that will just tear you a new one if you're not paying attention.
I guess it's just to throw in some extra high-level stuff you can
but it's so
from.
weird. It's like, because in that game, it was always difficult, but it was rarely on the verge of being completely unfair. Whereas this one, I feel like the discrepancy between the slightly tweaked normal guys and this guy who feels like he's about 30 levels higher than me there's a huge discrepancy there. And the fact that he can like whirl in, hit me 3 times with his staff, and I'm like dead. Yeah,
you can't have a guy rushing at you with his staff out. That's not what you want to see in the workplace.
It's an electrified staff.
That's even worse.
Either way, still very, very cool game. I do want to play a bit more New Game Plus just to see if that kind of continues on and if the level up, like all the scrap I'm getting actually is going to make a difference, or if those guys are just going to be a pain in my ass like the whole way through.
I'm sure they'll make a difference. I mean, you had something similar with Mass Effect where they unlocked like an extra 5 levels of armor and stuff after you finished, and 5 levels of weapons and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
but they didn't have crowd control dude that could kill you in 2 hits.
No. Well, I mean, if you were playing it on Veteran, what was the highest level in that one? Insanity. Insanity was
the highest one for that one.
Veteran was COD. That was all like I was thinking back to. No, actually, it was. I was talking with someone about Wolfenstein. He saw that I had the Wolfenstein and the Old Blood Platinums. They said, "Holy crap, does he have Wolfenstein 2?" I'm like, no. No. I tried Wolfenstein 2.
Nobody has that.
Well, some people do, but I'm not gonna bother.
Yeah.
Like I got halfway through on like the middling difficulty, and then it started kicking my ass. I'm like, I can't even picture doing that on whatever the highest level of difficulty is. It'd be like maybe yearn for the days of World at War, with the grenade spam. Anything else you played?
Again, I was still kind of on my Mega Man kick, so...
Marucci says the game isn't hard, you're just bad at games. Wow. Okay.
I think he's suggesting get good, son.
I think that maybe I need to see his PSN ID and trophy cards so that I can see his Wolfenstein 2 Platinum.
That ain't gonna happen anytime soon. But yeah, so I was on a Mega Man kick before the holidays.
Right.
Still am right now because I had the X collection.
Yes.
And I also had the couple for the Game Boy Color. So I played and finished Extreme 2 now.
Okay.
Which again is just this really cool mashup of like Extreme for Game Boy Color was a mashup of 1 and 2, and then Extreme 2 was a mashup of X2 and X3. So they mixed in a couple bosses. You could swap to 0 on the fly. They had like the store where you could buy like upgrades for them and everything like that. So they took stuff from X3 for the Super Nintendo and put it in the Game Boy game, and then mashed X2 bosses and X3 bosses together. and made it that whole thing where you play through 4 as X, then you play through the other 4 bosses as 0, and then you unlock extreme mode where you get 0 and X, but then you have to fight all 8 bosses and Sigma at the end. So it was really cool, especially for Game Boy Color game.
Yeah, I'm still marveling at the idea that Capcom is recycling their own games and presenting that as a mechanic.
Well, it was the Game Boy Color, so.
I guess, but still.
But, I mean, just really well done. Like, the levels are there, the music is there, it's a fun game, it handles really well, so.
Sure.
So that was a lot of fun.
He doesn't have the console, so he doesn't even know, man.
Well, you're really bad at games then.
Well, actually, who knows? Maybe with a mouse and keyboard it might be better, but.
It's possible.
It's possible.
Yeah, and with that, I was also playing, I fired into X2, because that was one I always had played here and there on Super Nintendo back in the day, but never really got to finish it because it was like a rental only, because again, that's a much more rare game to get your hands on.
Right.
So it's kind of nice to actually be able to get into the meat of that one and just actually be able to experience all the bosses, really learn the layout of the levels, get all the extras and everything like that. Just stuff I didn't get to do back in the day.
Sure.
So I'm almost done that one, and then it'll be on to X3 after that.
That is the progression.
But yeah, so I don't know. There's I might skip X7. I don't know.
I mean, once you're done X3, I say you just put the whole thing down.
You know what? I want to give them all a fair shake at least.
Yeah.
I have been watching a ton of like thorough like hour-long reviews on the game series, just because there's this one guy who went in and did like. He did a review of X7 that was an hour and 45 minutes long.
Why?
Just talking about all of the fucking issues that game has. And it just goes to show, if dude can make an hour and 45-minute YouTube video about how bad that game is, I'm like just thoroughly interested in it. But because I have the collection, I do want to play them at least once, just say I have played them and finished them, even though watching some of those reviews, I know that I'm going to have a hell of a time with some of the shit in those games.
I tell you,
especially not having like save states and everything.
Well, I mean, it's
because that's something I'm wondering if they're going to add them, because they did add them to the Mega Man Legacy collection.
Well, yeah, but
they added save states and they added rewind in it actually, which is kind of interesting.
Rewind is different because I mean, the original ones were all like password and whatnot, so the save state just makes it easier. But rewind, that's a bit hinky.
Well, again, it's for people that they still want to experience Mega Man, but they they don't.
Hey man,
they don't have the the nuggets for it.
Back in my day, I finished the original Mega Man. That didn't even have a password, let alone a rewind or a battery backup nonsense.
I mean, honestly, to be fair though, if you were good at it, that game can get knocked out in I think 30 minutes or 35 minutes or something.
I don't know
like
if it took me. I don't know if I was quite that fast, but I did finish it. That's all that mattered. I was taking my time, I think.
Yeah,
or at least where you could.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there were certain parts where you're just like, nope, gotta stop and think here for a minute.
Yeah, pretty much.
But anyway, so that was my holidays.
Yes.
That was yours, because I'm sure you got into some shenanigans.
Well, I don't know if we talked about it before we went on holiday, but I finished off Spider-Man with all of the trophies. I got my platinum in that. I did all the DLC,
nice.
So that's all done. I started back on Mutant Year Zero.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so
you had kind of dabbled in that before the holidays.
Yeah, and I actually finished it off and played all the little side quests and whatnot. There's a review up on PSU right now for that. I liked it. It had some issues. I talk about it a bit in the review. It was very much an interesting hybrid between like an adventure game where it's all in real time and then the tactics.
Yeah.
So they literally call it a tactical adventure. So it has some RPG elements. You actually stay with the characters the whole time. There's no strategy layer where you manage a base and do crap.
Yeah.
So that's nice. And the strategy itself is, if you've played XCOM, you can pick this up easily.
Right, yeah.
So really cool. I love the world. I think it's worth checking out. I think maybe the sequel might be a little bit tighter. But yeah, it was an interesting sort of refresh on the whole tactical turn-based strategy. So I played that. You can check out that review on PSU.com. I played a lot.
Thank you, Discount. You got the link in the, chat there, so you can check that out.
I played a couple of games. I played a lot of Sunless Sea, which was one that came out on PSN a while back. It was out previously on PC. It's out on the PS4. It's the Submariner edition. With a Z.
All these interesting names they're coming up with.
It's vaguely Germanic sounding things because it's all about the Untersee, It's like the whole idea is like London falls into this underground cavern, and so you're like, it's all steampunk and H.P. Lovecrafty stuff, and you're going from place to place. And meanwhile, these Cthulhian horrors are like under the depths, and you're slowly going insane in the darkness.
Oh, okay.
Right, and you
sounds right up my alley.
Yeah, and you're ferrying undead from one place to their final rest, and then they attack you and they eat your food and crap. It's weird. Anyway, there's all kinds of stuff.
I just imagine they like brutally hit you with a bat, but then you drop your burger on the floor and they're like, ooh, and they run and get it.
5-second rule. No, the undead are remarkably not picky about what they're going to eat. But there's all kinds of weird crap in the game you can get. You can, like, from London, you have to, like, trade a bunch of stuff, and you're dealing in secrets as well as goods and whatnot.
What's the core gameplay like?
The core gameplay is kind of like almost like a Starflight game. You're building up your ship, you recruit crew, there are quests you go on that you have to accomplish, and depending on what background you choose, your ultimate character goal is going to be different. So one will be like you have to find the bones of your father, one will be like write your memoirs, one is achieve fame and fortune, and one is just retire alive.
Oh, okay.
You know, so it really has a wide range of things.
One of them, don't let the undead eat your food.
I mean, let me tell you, there were a lot of horrific ends where, like, the crew would mutiny and I would have no fuel and I'd be out in the dark and I'd be slowly going insane. And then I'd sacrifice my crew to one of the three gods of the sea.
Yeah.
And they would either ignore me and just, like, you haven't done enough, or I, like, had to...
Sitting there playing with Rubik's Cube.
Cut my hand on the altar, and they actually got me back to my port.
Yeah.
But, like, I lost half my crew and some of my sanity and some life points. Like, all my stats came down. It's like, holy crap. But it's a roguelike game, so sometimes you have to make that choice.
Right.
So the short-term loss
done anyways.
Right. So it was very interesting. I think it's pretty cheap on PSN. Like, it's only like $20 or something. But that was worth playing.
Cool.
I highly enjoyed that. Here's one that I've been meaning to try for a long time. So I got the Kingdom Hearts collection, which is the...
You have the story so far, which is the ultimate top tier collection before 3 comes out, because it literally has everything.
So basically it'd be like that and 3, and I will have all of it. So I started playing the original Kingdom Hearts, and I'm like, okay, this is good. It's a little primitive, but...
It's very primitive, because it is technically a PS2 game, so...
Hey man, I did not have that problem when I was playing Destroy All Humans. I'm just saying, anyway.
Bit of a smaller scope on that one.
Anyway, so I got through the first few worlds. I was like, okay, that's kind of neat. And it's like, oh, you build your gummy ship, and it's like, okay, unless Disney's Gummy Bears actually come out, I'm going to be pissed, because Disney owns the rights, and Gummy Bears would fit right into this shit. But that hasn't happened yet, and may never happen for all I know. And then I got to Tarzan's world. And okay, it's like, all right, so I'm in the jungle, and you go around the jungle, and you're swinging from vine to vine. Okay, yeah, it's Tarzan. Okay, and then you go down to the tiny little village, the hut, and you go into this little sort of dead end area. And you come back, and you do this circle of areas, and then you do it again, and then you do it again, and then you do it again. And it's like every time they go, oh, well, this is happening. Can you go check this out? Or, oh, this person's gone. Can you go look for them? And you do the same fucking circle 4 or 5 times in a row. It's like, man, I was just there. You couldn't have told me this the last time I was here? So after the 5th time I had to do this, and I finally finished Tarzan's world, I'm like, that's enough Kingdom Hearts for now. So... I mean,
That's good. That Tarzan's one is a little rough. It is quite repetitive. There are much better worlds than that.
And I'm assuming that the later games, they get the formula down a little bit better.
Kingdom Hearts 2 is superior in almost every way.
It would have to be. It would have to be. Yeah. So that caused me some grief.
Well, James Breen, he would still be playing it if it had a Shadow Moses and a sniper rifle in it.
Just me hunting monkeys. Anyway, so Kingdom Hearts, that was, I guess, 1.5 is the original one, HD version now. So after that, I'm like, fuck this. I just want to not think for a while. So I dragged out Just Cause 3, because I have Just Cause 4. And I'm like, wait a minute. I haven't finished Just Cause 3 yet.
Yeah.
And at the time, it was like, wow, this is so repetitive. I can't get into it. Now it's like, check my brain at the door and like, great, this is exactly what I need.
Just stupid fun. Explosions and guns and car chases and helicopter chases and like just everything. I adore that game for the fact that it is an interactive action movie. Like it reminds me of watching shit like Fast and Furious and fucking Commando and like all these other just ridiculous fucking movies like
But aside from fucking up the drop mechanics and adding rudders to planes, so it's like kind of step forward, step back, the game is essentially the same goddamn game. So
they reined the map in though.
Did they? It seems pretty big.
No, I looked at a visual representation of what Just Cause 3 and Just Cause 2 is compared, and it's like a quarter the size of the Just Cause 2 map because they made it better. Like the map is more interactive. There's more shit going on. There's more like
agree to disagree.
There's more
on that.
landscape. Like there's more going on. Because you have to admit, Just Cause 2, that map was barren. There was nothing going on in like 95% of it.
Yeah, and I still think that's the case, honestly. In Just Cause 3, I don't find it significantly... The ratio doesn't seem to be
I don't know. I
different.
find it much better. Like when I'm flying in a jet, every... half minute to a minute, I can see civilization. I can see a base over there. I can see guys flying around in planes and stuff. In Just Cause 2, as soon as you got away from some of the major city centers, like heading towards the south of the map, or south end of the map, there was like nothing. It looked like a Google Map image of the desert, and there was nothing there.
Jay Tanuki, he mentions, I love Kingdom Hearts, but even she will attest that the Tarzan world is the most barren and repetitive of the entire series. So hopefully this is now my low point, and it's just all... uphill from here.
There are much better places.
Good.
There's shorter worlds. There's longer worlds, but they're more interactive. So it'll get better.
Good. Because so far I'm like, wow, this is an early Square design. They needed to get their shit together.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that this is now I can just look forward to better design games going forward.
Yeah.
But yeah, Just Cause 3, I'm almost done with that. I'm going to platinum that. I finished the game. I'm just doing all the grind, finding all the collectibles, all the blah blah, and then of course the fun part is finding all of the unique vehicles.
Oh yes,
and driving them back without accidentally dinging someone's fender and causing heat, which then causes them to shoot at the vehicle, which causes it to explode. So you have to go out to the rare spawn and find it again and drive it back.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
do you have the DLC for that one by chance?
Yes, actually, and I'm really glad that I do, because I can't imagine the game would be as enjoyable if I did not have the
booster
for your wingsuit, right?
Yeah,
that changes a lot.
It changes a lot.
Yeah. So when I'm like actively strafing with missiles and machine guns, and then just and I land. So that definitely changes a lot. The mechs,
the mech is very cool.
Yes, I had a lot of fun with that. Yeah. It made several of the what was it, the missions where you have to actually take over like a military base.
Yeah, like you go and you assault it and take over.
It had a specific name for it.
You have to blow up all the buildings and shit like that. Yeah,
but they were like, there's just an obscene number of guys actually shooting at you. So having a nice mech with a Bavarium shield, makes things a lot easier. All right. Now, since we're getting to the Triple D, the disc downloads and DLC, and I know that we obviously don't have updates from PlayStation as yet. Did you find that article I was showing you? Or if not, you can just...
The PSU one?
Read the thing.
I did. Okay, well, I'll read yours, even though they were ones picked by you, so you know what they are.
Well, it's the whole thing, so it's all of them. There isn't many.
The whole damn thing.
There weren't many to choose from, so I just put them all in there.
Let me know if you know what any of these are, because a lot of them seem like indie ones or something like that. So there's Megalith.
That's supposed to be good. It's
and
a VR thing.
Pieces.
I don't know.
And Suicide Guy, Sleeping Deeply.
It sounds like something I might want to look at.
On January 8th.
Sure.
Then we have Bit Trip, which is actually a fun. It's kind of an endless runner kind of situation.
That's like the Ultimate Edition?
Yeah, it's the Bit Trip and Friends bundle, so I think that comes with 1, 2, and 3 or something, and then I think there was DLC for some of them. So you get that whole pack. There's the Bugs Box VR, which I don't know what that is. I literally just think of a PSVR and you have a box of bugs in front of you. You just shake it around and see what they do.
Like make them fight?
Yeah. Fight my minions. We have Hive Ultim Wars Ultimate Edition. Party Crashers and Party Golf. I actually wanted to watch a trailer for this because I've heard that it's a lot of fun. It's like a fun
Like
little
everybody's
party game.
golf thing.
Yeah, that kind of situation. Just like a madness party game, but around golf and crashing and stuff like that.
The only way to win is not to play.
And then I don't know what this one is. Shanky, the Vegan's Nightmare. I remember playing Shank. That was a good game.
Unrelated.
Yeah, completely unrelated.
I'm assuming.
Much more gore in that one. Those are all on January 10th, and then January 11th we have Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition.
Yep.
So
If
definitely
you
check
like
that one out.
the Tales games.
And then Hitman, the HD Enhanced Collection.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Which is something I've been waiting for a bit.
There was that one, and then actually one of the ones that you missed on there that is very important for people that
cares?
What Jackbox?
Jackbox.
Everybody loves Jackbox. Okay,
the
so
Quint pack, I think it's already available, actually.
yeah, so the January 10th apparently. Or anyways, for PS4. I don't know if it came out on Steam earlier, but they have the Jackbox Party Quint pack, which is all 5 games on January 10th.
Pretty sure it's already out there on the store, because I already had the Jackbox 5, and I know they had like the quad pack before, and I think they had the Quint pack like a week later.
Oh.
So I'm pretty sure like before Christmas. That might be a European
typo?
release.
Oh, that's possible too.
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah, so there you go.
But anyway, back on the Hitman HD collection,
Yes.
that was something that just got announced like over the holidays. It's coming up for the PS4 and for Xbox One. It's Blood Money and Hitman Absolution, which is going to be 4K, 60 frames per second with improved lighting textures and updated controls. I don't know what that means. Updated?
Probably refreshed, because some of those games were a little janky back in the day.
It probably just means they're going to update Blood Money to use the Absolution controls, which I think are pretty much
I mean,
the
that
same as the
kind of
new
makes
ones.
sense too, because if you've played a modern one, you want to go back and play the other ones, it kind of makes sense to update it, or just have the option. I mean, it's just nice, again, to have options like that.
That was fun with
one of
Blood
the
Money
things that, of
controls.
course, we kind of missed being away on holidays is, of course, we had the PS Plus games for January 2019. So we had talked about this one a bit before Christmas, or even in November, I think, because you got to try it out. But so the 2 main games for PS Plus for PS4 are Steep and Portal Knights. So Steep is the one, of course, where it's snowboarding, skiing, wingsuit, paragliding, I think, or something. They have a bunch of extreme mountain sports.
They have a bunch that are
big
added on.
online game and everything like that. So that one's for free. And there's also Portal Knights, which is kind of like a cutesy little kind of Minecraft game. But
Another Minecraft game.
You pick like a class, and it's Minecraft-esque because you can like harvest a bunch of stuff. But the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because the PS3 actually got the better end of the stick this month, because
that?
they got the Zone of the Enders HD collection, which is nice because it's the collection,
PS3
so
one,
the PS3 one, and they got Amplitude.
Amplitude is cool.
But the coolest part is that even though they only say Amplitude's for PS3,
Right.
it's actually cross-buy. So
There's something weird. You got to go and buy it through the store.
so what you have to do, I'll just let everyone out there
All
know.
right.
If you want Amplitude for your PS4, what you do is you go either into your PlayStation app, if you're logged in there, or you log into the website just on a computer, log into your account, accept the transaction of buying Amplitude on PS3, you put it in your cart, you check out with it, so you now own the PS3 copy. Fire up your PS4, go to the store, and where the price would have been, there's a download button. And so it's cross-buy. So you have Amplitude, the HD one on PS4, and it's fucking awesome. I love that game. I'm glad that and even if it was a sneaky way around it, I'm glad that we have it for the PS4, because I love
Very
it.
sneaky.
Yeah.
Very sneaky. Oh, all right. So it's time for the news.
All right, let's get into it.
We still don't have a news transition.
We'll get there. Now that I have a bit more free time, I actually want to learn. I want to learn how to do our transitions.
Sure.
I don't know what program to use though, so I need to figure that out first.
WordPad.
That sounds terrible. Just
MS
that
Paint.
says the news on it hovers across the screen.
MS Paint is like,
Pixelize the news right so.
just sounds like a dot matrix printer, you know. News. Anyway. All right, so there's a lot of updates to some of the stuff we talked about before Christmas. So remember before Christmas, Street Fighter, they had that whole chicanery about the arcade edition getting ads in-game, and you would get a certain amount of fight bucks, or
Right,
whatever the heck it
yes.
was, if you watched them and didn't turn them off.
It would look like,
Yeah.
well, it wasn't about watching them. It was literally about, like, it was UFC style. They would have ads on their, like, on their boxing gloves and
Yeah,
their
it was
gi
on
and
load
stuff like
screens
that.
too, though.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a load screen, whatever. I don't fucking care about that.
Assuming it only took that long and didn't, slow you down. But anyway, the point was you could turn it off, but you wouldn't get as much fight money at the end of the game. So there was rewarding basically you looking at ads. It's basically like that ad buddy thing for Maniac, which is just insidious. But looks like Capcom took it out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. In a Reddit thread, some players believe it cheapened the look of the characters, and apparently series producer Yoshinori Ono said sometime in mid-December the team was only collecting everyone's feedback on sponsored content, but without any kind of announcement or response, they're not there anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, so pretty much everyone's response was, this sucks, get rid of it.
Well, I mean, honestly, what more could you ask for? They did it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other ones that'll be like, oh, don't worry, we talked to our fans and they love it, so we're going to keep it in the game. EA. Sorry.
Yeah. Believe me. So yeah, I mean, but they
and
added it to an existing game, though. I don't like that.
But especially the fact that they put it in and they took it out within like a month. Like that's not that bad. Because again, we've seen way more egregious uses like that through. Yeah, I used it before you could.
I wasn't going to.
We should need an egregious card. You're allowed one per show. It's like, I used it.
That's okay. I'm giving it up for Lent.
Yeah, says like UFC. You mean having Condom Depot across Ryu's gi cheapen the look of the character?
I mean, what are the odds?
Now, yeah, and again, they were advertising their own shit anyways, but either way, I'm glad that they took it out. That's good on them to actually do that.
Me too. Yeah, we wouldn't want Street Fighter to sell out. Anywho, speaking of selling out, Soulja Boy, we talked about his game console last month.
I watched a half-an-hour video about the game console. Somebody who actually got their hands on said consoles and everything. So it was quite interesting.
Yeah, but don't worry, though, because he wasn't concerned. A lot of people were questioning how legitimate his console actually was.
Oh, yeah, super legitimate. It's KTA. I see you there.
Hey, KTA, how you doing? Yeah, we're talking about Soulja Boy.
Yeah, you got here just in time.
Yeah. So when people were asking questions, Soulja Boy had a couple of responses, and I quote.
Did they have to do with what they asked?
No. People were worried that they were going to invite the wrath of Nintendo, right? Because Nintendo was pretty... they just shut down that abandonware site that had all the ROMs.
Yeah, the Emu
Paradise. Yeah. So Soulja Boy tweeted back, Nintendo ain't gonna do shit.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. And
poke that bear again.
Oh, wait. And that y'all don't know how business works. LMAO, nothing is gonna happen.
Oh, man.
And then he said, I'm not scared of Nintendo or none of you fucking nerds making YouTube videos, eat a dick, and thanks for the free promo. That one, though, he took down, thinking, maybe a bit too...
Yeah, a bit too over the edge on that.
I don't know. But, so he's not scared of Nintendo, and Nintendo ain't gonna do shit. So, roughly around December... where is it? Yeah, December the 29th, DeAndre Cortez Way, a.k.a. Soulja Boy, he gets an a.k.a. now, received a cease and desist letter from Nintendo, who threatened criminal charges against him for violating the Trademark Counterfeiting Act. It's a federal offense to use a counterfeit trademark intentionally. The first offense is up to 10 years in jail and up to 20 years for repeat offenders. So, December the 29th, he tweets, I had to boss up. I didn't have a choice. Disappeared.
Magic.
And they were gone.
You fuck. They're cheap Chinese knockoffs that clearly have Nintendo ROMs built into them.
Who could have known? How could he have known? It seems so legitimate.
Not like he saw his own product or anything like that, but he certainly saw the money come in from it. So
yeah, but y'all don't know how business works.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm just gonna say this. I'm honestly surprised it took him that long to take him down.
I'm sure it took the first 10 or 15 days for Nintendo
stop laughing.
No, Nintendo of Japan to go, who the fuck is Soulja Boy?
What's a Soulja Boy?
Yeah. But anyway, so Soulja Boy, he's now wanting to start up an esports franchise.
Okay, at least that's more legitimate. I mean, he's going to put his own money into that.
Talk about your low bar. Wow, yeah. So, R.I.P. Soulja Boy game console. Unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, that's insane. Like, I can't believe that Like, how did he think he was going to get away with that in any way, shape, or form?
I mean, I don't think he really was sophisticated enough in terms of understanding emulators and ROMs to know that these were illegal things. He was just shipping them in for China, and they put his name on it and sold it for whatever.
But it's like, I guess it's one of two minds. Either he knew what he was doing and then just played dumb.
I don't think so.
Or he was actually that dumb and didn't understand that these came with ripped games on them.
I mean...
Either way...
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, it's so stupid.
Either way, like, if he's tweeting that and he knows what's going on, that's dumb. And if he's tweeting that and doesn't know, then he's just dumb for not knowing.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean...
It would have been a different situation if these things were emulator machines and came with no games.
Or from like an emulated machine, like from Sega, for example. They had their Sega Mini.
Yeah.
You know?
No, but not even like officially branded. I mean, like those ones you can get from China, they are emulator machines, but they don't use any actual Nintendo parts. Not even like they don't cast the same thing of a Game Boy or Game Boy Advance or whatever.
Yeah.
And if they came with no games on them, they would have no ground on that.
It
but the fact that they come with 2,600 games or some
Right.
shit like that, and half of them are Super Nintendo games.
Right,
Then,
from various different companies.
and sometimes you get like Japanese versions of games on them and stuff. Again, watched hilarious bunch of videos on it. It's funny just how bad these fucking systems are. And I feel sorry for people who like either thought that this was the real deal or just gave Soulja Boy money to buy this garbage from him.
It's KTA says, I feel as if he was approached by an outside party to use him as a front to their scheme, so in turn they couldn't be directly affected. I think that these people were from China and they didn't give a shit.
You know what? I think
the Chinese
it was probably both. Like they probably acknowledged him.
Yes.
But then he went along with it because you know, either way you look at it, he is a gamer. He's a huge gamer fan. He does a lot of streaming and stuff like that. So he probably jumped at it and be like, oh shit, I can get my name on a Game Boy fake thing that I can sell to people and I make money, and then, you know, when I get to game and stuff like that, it's all good. But no, it isn't all good.
No, like even a more like a cursory amount of research into it, you know, and he had to sign contracts, so at some point he had to have a lawyer look over everything.
I don't know what a Chinese contract looks like though, from like China to the States. I don't know what kind of mess that would look like.
I'm sure they translate it for him.
I hope so. What is this? I'm just gonna sign it anyways.
Yeah, seems legit.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a bunch of legal news today. Actually, so
because there was nothing else going over Christmas.
There's a bunch of stuff.
Just people getting in trouble with the law.
Now I just front loaded all the lawsuits right up front because we had like a bunch of updates and lawsuits on stuff we'd been talking about. And Dandr0id is Twitter famous from Memory Express now.
You know it.
Well, there you go.
I was first in line at Memex on Boxing Day.
There you go. Yeah. Yet I wear my shirt and I get nothing. God damn it. All right. So way back in June, we were talking about a lawsuit that Bethesda had launched against Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment and Behavior Interactive. It was the Westworld mobile application.
Right. Yes.
Very similar in style to Fallout Shelter. So it was, and they called it a blatant ripoff of Fallout Shelter. But they alleged not only contained...
sorry, Discount. Here's your shout out. Thank you, Discount, for helping me build my computer.
Yes.
Because that helped a lot. Because I just would have burnt it to the ground, probably.
So anyway, they allege that the Westworld game not only contained very similar art and design, but actual code from the original game.
Because it had some of the same glitch and issues with it, too.
Yeah. So a notice filed in federal court December the 12th of last year stated both Bethesda and Warner Brothers Interactive had come to an amicable agreement and settled their lawsuit. In addition, the filing states that Bethesda dismissed its claims with prejudice, which means they can't refile at some point. It's like, it's dismissed, it can't be refiled.
It's like, we're good. We're even now.
So there was an undisclosed settlement. Both parties are going to pay their own legal fees. I have a feeling that Behavior Interactive probably had to pay Bethesda a shitload of money.
Oh, yes.
And Warner Brothers was indemnified because their contractor screwed them over. But allegedly. I mean, that's all speculation.
Like, we didn't know anything about that. It's all them. Those guys.
I'm sure we
go
just...
after them.
Yeah, we just made the same mistakes exactly in two very similar games that we sold to two different people.
So bad.
Yeah. So we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Problem solved. Yikes. Oh, and my favorite. This is my favorite. I had a good laugh about this at Christmas. So, another long-running lawsuit we've been tracking. A DMCA notice was filed on December the 31st. So Game Services Steam and GOG both had to delist Stardock's latest game, Star Control Origins.
Oh, okay.
Which was the prequel game.
Oh, right. This is the one
right?
where they have the licenses like split over two teams. And
No, Fred Ford and Paul Reek the third, they own the IP Star Control, not the name Star Control.
Right.
So the trademark Stardock
one
bought.
team owns the names,
Right.
the other team owns like the content, basically.
Exactly. So there's been a big back and forth about who owns the original games, who can publish the original games, like, and make subsequent games that use the original ships, the original races, etc.
Right.
So this has been going on for years at this point. And Stardock thought, you know, what could possibly go wrong? We publish this game. It has all original content, all original races, only has the name. What could go wrong?
Yeah. Who's going to notice?
Yeah. So they apparently had spent 5 years making it their own game. Actually, this is Brad Wardell, our favorite mouthpiece, actually did this on the Steam page. You can go out and read it. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It says entirely original, and Ford and Reichi's copyright claims don't apply. And I don't know if he's got Rudy Giuliani advising him or what. But anyway, prior to releasing the game, Stardock requested the U.S. Supreme Court, the District Court of Northern California. They wanted to prevent Ford and Reich from issuing DMCA requests until the lawsuit had been completed. They struck down that request. So that was on the December the 27th. So 4 days later, they said, nope, out. And they said, I quote, should have waited to release Origins until after the lawsuits were settled if it was afraid of getting hit with DMCA takedown notices. So Brad Wardell apparently wasn't afraid, There's Star Control ain't gonna do shit.
Yeah.
You don't know how business works.
Mouthpiece like that, I don't think he's afraid of anything.
No. I mean, we talked about that argument we had on Twitter. It's a very,
yes.
very public argument I had with the CEO of Stardock and some random frigging streamer. Anyway, so get this, though, because they have such an impressive grasp of the law. Instead of waiting for the lawsuit to get settled, they've instead started selling it directly through their website until everything can get resolved.
Oh, wow, really?
That doesn't seem like a really good idea to me.
No, you're just adding to the pile of shit that they're going to throw back at you.
Yeah, Brad Wardell.
So how long do you think it's going to be before they just fucking strike the whole site?
I mean, I don't know. It's going to be years before the whole thing shakes out. It all depends on how much money Ford and Reich can actually put together, because they're not. I mean, Stardock isn't a huge company, but they have assets, right? But then again, those guys, the Toys for Bob guys, they have all that Skylanders money in their back pocket.
Yeah, exactly.
Years and years.
They're fucking good to go.
I mean, still, but it's out of pocket even still. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But I found it really hilarious that it's like, oh, we're just gonna publish the game. What could go wrong? You don't know how business works.
Just gonna sell these Chinese knockoff consoles here. Don't worry
Soulja
about
Boy
it.
plays Star Control. God damn. All right. So speaking of terrible ideas, Sonic team head Takashi Iizuka is apparently interested in making a remake of Sonic Adventure for the Dreamcast. Not for the Dreamcast.
I was gonna say
the Dreamcast game remade for modern consoles.
You know what? I'm going to give him this one just on the basis that it can't be any fucking worse than the original one, honestly. That game, I mean, it's infamous. Everyone knows. This is like in Superman 64 territory. It's like one of the worst games of all time.
He says it was the first high-speed 3D action game that also featured a scenario highlighted with 6 different stories. The A-Life Chow, 6 unique styles of gameplay. I don't know what any of that means. But he says... it was the very first 3D game we worked on, and looking at it now, I see the rough edges it has, which really makes me want to remake it again. Yeah. So I can see that, wanting to come back and knock the corners off of it, maybe make it a proper game.
See, it's just so weird, though. Like, it's Sonic Team. This is the head of Sonic Team. They own the brand. Like, why not just make another 3D Sonic game that's good?
Well,
wait, are you going to lean on the name of a game for the Dreamcast that came out in 2002, I think, or something like that. Like,
if it were that easy to just make a Sonic game that was good, they probably would have done it by now.
like
or
I said,
recently.
Sonic Forces wasn't too bad, but still, they're. But I don't.
It's been a long time.
I find it so weird that they would want to remaster a thing that was already just a 3D Sonic game. It didn't do it like. I know they're joking in the chat about Sonic and the Black Knight, but at least that was
that was horrible.
But at least that was a different game.
Right.
Like that was, if you went back and remastered that, there's a bunch of different things you could do with it.
Yeah.
It has its own kind of like style to it and everything.
Maybe.
Whereas Sonic Adventure was just 3D Sonic. That's all it was. It didn't do anything outside the box.
It was kind of like Sonic Adventure was to Sonic like what Mega Man Legends was to Mega Man. Like maybe this is just sort of the black sheep in his repertoire. He has ideas for it. He wants to make it the way he wanted to originally and just couldn't.
I guess it's possible because I know that, you know, again, to be fair with this type of situation, it is one of those things that when you're switching to 3D, especially back when it was new, like what did you have to model it after? Like you had a handful of 3D platformer games that were really good, and then there was another truckload of ones that sucked balls because nobody could kind of get the hang of it. So it was really difficult to not only make a 3D platformer, but one based on speed and Sonic the Hedgehog. So, I mean, if he wants to fucking go for it, I say go for it. There's, like I said, there's no way it could be worse than the original one.
Hey, they're remaking Shenmue. Sega has got all the money in the world. Let them remake that too. Fine.
Yeah, but he doesn't run fast. And he doesn't have 90s attitude.
Oh, my God. Oh. Anyway. So, speaking of 90s attitude, no relation whatsoever. Anyway, so one of 2014's scariest games, Alien Isolation. It's getting
I thought you were saying Colonial Marine. That game was horrifying.
No, it was, but not for the same reason. Alien Isolation is getting a sequel.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And the great news is that everyone can play it. Everyone can play it.
No.
Yep.
No.
What? You have a phone, don't you?
Oh, God.
Yep.
Why?
That's right. Fox announced today that Alien Blackout is coming to mobile devices in 2019. Again, starring Amanda Ripley, it's going to be another survival horror game, and the write-up sounds remarkably the same as, like, Alien Isolation. It's being published by D3Go. It may just be a port, just renamed. I was
going to say, they're probably just going to make the same fucking game and just downgrade it the hell out of it to fit it on a phone.
It says, try to stay alive while trapped aboard a crippled Weyland-Yutani space station carrying a deadly xenomorph as it tirelessly hunts you and the crew. So they're going to be crew. Outsmart the perfect hunter by making perilous choices. Survive 7 fear-inducing levels by remotely guiding Amanda Ripley's crew through increasingly challenging tasks using only the station's emergency systems. Maybe it's going to be like Lemmings.
I almost feel like it is. You're going to see, like, you're going to be in the command room and she's going to be running around the hallways and you're like, okay, go now because they can't see you. And you're going to, it's like low-grade control so you can use it on your phone.
Yeah.
But you're going to have that command central kind of situation going on. I almost guarantee that's how it's going to work.
They're just remaking Lifeline with an alien skin.
Yeah.
You remember Lifeline?
Except you don't shout at your phone, though.
Run!
And Maim Kill, I would welcome that. I would absolutely welcome a Battle Royale Aliens versus Marines game. How fucking cool would that be?
Not that cool.
That would be amazing.
It would have to be more like a Musu, really.
Aliens, Marines, and Predators.
Oh, and Predators. Yeah, there you go. So
discount once again offers nothing to the conversation.
No, but have it balanced and stuff like that. Like you can have like a team of 20 Marines and like 5 Predators and the rest are aliens.
So that would be team play based on like
not all like every man for himself like a typical battle royale, like a team-based battle royale.
Yeah, actually someone did that. They did an Arma mod and it was like all Halo.
Yeah.
That looked amazing.
Well, again, you might get it in Halo Infinite, I think, is the newest one.
Yikes.
Kazutoki, you're not going to get an Echo the Dolphin remake. It's just not going to happen. Nobody cares about dolphins.
I mean, Echo the Dolphin was a fun game. A lot of people liked
the original one was fun.
Echo 2, Echo Tides of Time did the Echo CD. There's a lot of surprising number of people
in space. Like
they
couldn't even wait till the 3rd or 4th game to go to space. It was like in the 2nd game, aliens. Like, okay.
Well, it's
and
not
then they had one on the Dreamcast, I think, or Sega CD or something like that.
It's not like Leprechaun in space. I mean,
a dolphin aliens in the second game. They actually ran out of ideas that fast.
How do you know the dolphin wasn't an alien all along?
Well, that's true.
Right?
I mean, dolphins are pretty smart,
There
so
you
they
go.
could be aliens.
There you go. Aliens. Aliens.
Wait, does that mean the president is actually just a dolphin? He's going to pull his mask off and be like,
Yes.
we're here to take over your world.
That's the sequel to Metal Wolf Chaos. All
Metal
right.
Dolphin Chaos.
Exactly. So, right. There was a closed alpha test for Anthem over the holidays. And some people got to participate in it.
Yep.
And there was a very strict NDA on it.
Of course.
So I will not tell you whether or not I participated in it.
Oh, you're not even allowed to say if you were in it or not?
Well, let's just say I'm not going to say whether or not I played the game.
Okay, great.
Yes. But there was a Twitch streamer who not only decided to confirm, yes, I was in the alpha
God.
of the game, but he streamed it on Twitch.
Wow.
Yep.
Did they send a SWAT team to his house or something? Like,
No. They saved some time and energy. They, from Origin's side, EA bumped him offline,
Yep.
off of the Origin, and when he got his Origin client back up again, he was locked out of his account.
Oh, go figure.
Yeah, and so he doesn't have any of his games anymore, and he doesn't have Anthem anymore, and he is locked out. So, yeah, shockingly enough, EA and their NDA, they were serious and took steps to stop the guy from streaming.
Go figure.
Yeah, NDA is non-disclosure agreement. In this case, no duh asshole. What were you thinking was going to happen? Like, Jesus
I don't know.
Christ.
I don't get where the mindset comes from that.
No.
Do you think you're sneaky enough broadcasting to what could be tens of thousands of people?
I mean, it seems
A game
counterproductive.
that is under
Yeah.
NDA and isn't even out for however long now.
If you don't want to attract attention, why are you on Twitch in the first
yeah,
place?
exactly. Holy fuck, could you be any dumber?
I don't think he knows how Twitch works.
No.
No.
I don't if he put it on Twitch and he had 3 people watching him, EA was still gonna crawl up his ass about it.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter how many people were watching you.
Like, every time we get an opportunity to stream a game early, like we had Assassin's Creed Origins, we had Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Like,
Yeah.
we usually get those about a week in advance, and you'll always get people, oh, where'd you get the game? And then got it from movies. Oh, where'd you get the game? It's like 14, 15, 16 people every couple of minutes asking the same goddamn question.
Yep.
So, let alone that if Ubisoft didn't want you to stream that game, holy crap. Yeah. We had an issue. We had a bit of an interesting issue with Rockstar and Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
Where there was a question about, one of the names they thought was going to be doing the review for the game wasn't me. And they just...
Right, yeah, you were telling me about that.
They had just gotten their wires crossed on something. It's like, no, I'm doing the review. It's like, oh.
They were one step away from pushing that big red button.
Yeah,
like...
but they knew who I was, where I was, how much time I was playing, and I was offline.
Guess what? Those AAA companies, they don't fuck around. They have money to spend.
No,
they have people.
Rockstar's got Nintendo money. They will fuck you up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, and Janus Marine, that's true, actually. We should just hang that on a placard. Blank don't know how blank works.
My balls is hot. All right. So speaking about not knowing how things work, user Ninth Revolution took to Reddit over the holidays to report that back at least storefront G2A
Oh, yes.
was charging him for not using his account. Let me repeat that.
Yep.
G2A was charging him for not using his account.
Now, let me get this straight.
Uh-huh.
G2A was charging him
Yes.
when he wasn't
Correct.
using his account.
Yes. Like,
So-
how much shadier could you fucking get?
I mean, that's what it comes down to. Like, if people need any more of a wake-up call here, G2A
Yes.
is a shady fucking company.
I mean,
they are terrible.
They're not a bank charging you service charges.
Yeah.
So
Because that's perfectly legal, but...
Apparently.
G2A is just
Oh, yeah.
terrible. Like, just through and through. I
Yes.
don't know how they are still in business, honestly.
because they're based out of like Sweden or some goddamn
Oh,
thing.
so they're like hands off, like, oh,
Yeah.
you can't touch us, we're over here.
Well, it's all about, we're selling the keys and we're not actually selling software.
It's
and
all
it's,
fucking trick
you know,
anyways, so...
yeah. I mean, people, they get a stolen credit card, they buy 100 of these keys on Steam, they sell them on G2A, they make a quick profit, and it's like, oh, meanwhile, the developers are out a bunch of money and all those keys get used, and it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so after 180 days of inactivity, G2A will charge your account €1.
Whole euro.
Yep. And each month after that, for each additional month of inactivity, they'll charge you additional euro, if just for not logging in. So if you have money in your account,
Yep.
they'll just take it.
Wow.
Yep.
That is fucking shiesty.
Yeah, so, G2A Pay charges an inactivity fee for someone who has not logged into their G2A.com account for 180 days. An email is sent 3 days before the charge to remind the user and allow them to log in and easily avoid the fee.
Oh my god.
Right?
Well, I mean, it's fair. We sent him an email to tell him we were going to rip him off, so...
How many times has it been, like, you haven't checked your email for a couple of days?
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, you think? And, I mean, you get an email from G2A, you throw that shit away.
Yeah. It's like, no, dude, I got my games. Thanks. You can keep your trash to yourself.
Oh my god. So we never force the user to make a transaction, they say. Just all you have to do is log in to let us know you're active. But this is the line.
It's like, well, what's their take on, like, why are you charging them?
Well, this
is it costing you money to keep their fucking account?
Well, this is interesting. He says this is the line that kind of raised my eyebrows.
Yeah.
As a financial institution, we are also monitored, supervised, and audited, and have to back up and explain all of our accounts and the funds stored on these accounts.
So they have to explain that they're criminals?
Well, I mean, allegedly. Withdrawn. But as a financial institution, since when are they a fucking financial institution?
That's literally my point. Is to, like, I'm sorry, but you sell, like, fucking game codes and shit.
Yeah.
You are the farthest thing from a fucking financial institution.
In addition to being a digital fence, maybe they are being like an eBay type money laundering thing.
If anything, that
Allegedly.
makes you sound more guilty.
Right? So, I mean, all of this sounds a little shisty to me. Not that, I would make that accusation
Of
legally.
course not, no.
Withdrawn, allegedly.
You're a financial institution now? Well, we have finances, so
Yeah.
yeah.
They're a financial institution. I make balloon animals professionally.
Why do you carry a gun?
Yeah,
Well, none of your business.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking
Yeah,
terrible.
well, I mean, you make balloon animals your way, I'll make them mine. Agree to disagree.
Charge the kid €1. He didn't want it, I charge him €2.
Hey, kid, you want a balloon animal? No, I don't want a balloon animal. Think about it before you answer.
Okay, you don't get the balloon animal, but you still owe me money.
Yeah. $2 charge for not making your balloon animal.
Oh, man. Okay, let's carry on to something else. That just fucking makes me angry.
Yep. So, this just happened today. Late last night, actually. Captain Quench, he tweeted me. We talked for a bit, and I went and checked this out. Turns out that very early this morning, late last night, Bandai Namco US tweeted out, "Who's ready to return? Strange Wheel awaits. # Ace Combat 7." The big picture. And I looked at the picture, and I'm like, what's wrong with this picture? So you look at the picture, and like in one corner is Ace Combat 7.
Yeah.
Okay, the other corner is Ace Combat 5, right, which is you get with the pre-book. The other two images, Ace Combat 4.
So it was like a grid of like...
It's like 4 images,
Okay.
yeah. Ace Combat 4 and Ace Combat 0. So it's like Ace Combat 7 and 3 PS2 games, one of which we already know is being included and like with trophies in PS2 to PS4 for the release of Ace Combat 7. So you don't see Ace Combat 6, which was for the 360. You don't see Ace Combat, was it Assault Horizon for the PS3? Completely left out. So it's not chronological. It's just very specific grouping of things. So right now there are rumors flying all over the place saying, maybe there'll be Ace Combat 4, Ace Combat 0 for the PS4, which would be amazing, and I would be on board for that.
They're already doing 5.
Yes.
They were all PS2 games.
Correct.
So...
And
if they did the work on the one, they may have just gone in and like, here's a trilogy for you. Have fun.
So I talked to a PR guy here in the U.S., not here in the U.S., but in North America.
Yeah.
So the Bandai Namco U.S., and he talked to his social media guy, and apparently he says, oh, well, it's like those are the holy trinity of Ace Combat games, and they're just put there for show. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But, it's like, I asked him, like, I asked Kazutoki Kano directly, are we bringing out these games? He goes, maybe. You never know. We'll think about it. And it's, Oh yeah, it was like literally it was a non-answer. You can go check it out in the interview. And it's like, well, we'll think about it, but
Yeah.
no plans at this time. So I asked the PR guy, okay, now that this is out there, you said, oh, they're the Holy Trinity. You didn't say they're not coming out.
not say they were coming out.
He said Ace Combat 5 for pre-bookers on the PlayStation 4, Ace Combat 6 for pre-bookers on the Xbox One. So that's your pre-booking bonus.
Yeah.
But you didn't say you weren't going to bring those out. So he gave me the no plans dance. Like at this time, no plans to release Ace Combat 5 and 6 separately from the pre-booking. No plans to release Ace Combat 4 and Ace Combat 0.
Pretty coy if you're asking me.
I mean, no plans doesn't mean it's not going to happen.
Kill says if you asked him in person, he would have thrown a smoke bomb and made his escape.
Pretty much, right? Smoke bomb! So who knows? It's the traditional things. They're not ready to make an announcement, so it's who knows. But it just seems logical to me that they did not put up those 4 pictures randomly.
And I mean, even if you asked PR guy, producer guy, whatever, I feel if those games weren't part of it, they would have said there's no plans at this time, or at least saying no in some way, shape, or form, rather than saying, I don't know.
No plans just means we'll announce it when we're ready.
Yeah.
Sawed off. So, like, no plans watch used to be the catchword for, oh, yeah, we don't, nothing's going to happen, but it's actually going to happen.
Yeah.
You remember back when Infinite Warfare for Call of Duty Infinite Warfare came out, they said Modern Warfare Remastered.
Yeah.
Nope. It's always going to be part of Infinite Warfare. You can't get them separately. And then 6 months later, right? No plans to release it separately. 6 months later.
I think that was on the back burner until they realized that it wasn't helping. So they were like, here you go. Just buy it by itself.
Infinite Warfare still sold a shit ton. And it was still a great game. I don't care what people say. Anyway. So we'll see, but right now, I'm really anxious to believe that there's going to be PS2 to PS4 versions of all 3 of those games.
I mean,
those would sell crazy amounts.
Honestly, I feel like if it wasn't going to happen, they would have instantly either taken it down, or PR dude would have been like, oh, that was a mistake. That was a picture that we weren't supposed to use, or some shit like that. They would have handed you something, but he did that dance and song and dance there. So yeah, I think you're going to get it. It may not be at the same time, but you're going to get it.
Kono-san, I'm sure, was like, dancing around. That, big smirk.
Yeah, Blizzard, we have no plans to re-release Vanilla WoW.
They have no plans to announce this in a tiny outlet like this instead of putting it in a Game Informer magazine.
I have no plans to tell you right now in a week.
All right, we got some quick hits. NPD confirmed over the holiday. More good news for Spider-Man. So Spider-Man, we all know, was successful.
Oh, beyond successful.
Right. So apparently, over the first 3 months on the market, Spider-Man is now considered the fastest-selling superhero game in U.S. history.
Of course.
Which is amazing. Because there's been a lot of good superhero games in the past. Including, like, the past Spider-Man games, for example.
I mean, all the Spider-Man games sell really well. Of course, the Arkham series sold really well, especially after the first one. People realized it was an amazing game.
I would think.
Superman 64 did not sell well discount. Sorry. It never happened. But yeah, Spider-Man has that appeal. Yep. Like, anyone can get into a Spider-Man game.
Right.
Not everyone can get into a Batman game.
I'm Batman. But he doesn't kill anyone.
Yeah, no, he just... severe trauma to every single person he comes in contact with.
He's clearly dead. You rammed him through a concrete wall. I don't kill people because I'm Batman. He can't be dead. I don't kill people.
He's fine.
Yep. All right. Crash Team Racing Remake has been confirmed for release June 21st, 2019. It is called, of course, Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled.
It's too far away.
I know, but it's going to have online multiplayer and local 4-player split screen.
Of course. It would be a huge miss if they didn't have that in it.
I mean,
that was the whole point of that game, is because what did you have to play at that time other than Mario Kart 64? You had Crash Team Racing. It does couch co-op split screen.
GoldenEye.
If it didn't have racing games. Of course we had GoldenEye, among other things. But it had to have split screen. So I'm glad they have that. They have
really
online.
Glad. Yep.
Is there any kind of extra content, or are we just...
it's just going to be like a ground-up rebuild of the whole series. So I don't think they're going to do, like, unique features, but it's going to be the same, like the original version, but better.
Okay, cool.
Much like you saw for, like, Spyro and, like, Crash Bandicoot, was it the Insane Edition?
Mm-hmm.
World War Z game developer Saber Interactive apparently came to Sony Bend Studios when they saw Days Gone and said, hey, why don't we make you online multiplayer for Days Gone? And Sony Bend said, no thanks. Gonna make a single player game. We're fine with that,
Yeah. I mean, they've hit a streak of single player games that are just killing it right now, so they might as well roll with it.
Yeah, I really hope that it does well. I mean, what I've seen of it is interesting, but there's a lot of people. It's not generating the hype. I'm worried it's going to drift into like the Order territory.
Oh, I don't think it'll be that, because the Order was, even though it looked really good, it definitely didn't catch everyone's attention because of the style of the game and the fact that it was a very short game and it was supposed to be difficult and all this other stuff. Whereas Days Gone, it actually has that appeal of, there's still people that love zombies out there.
Right.
A lot of people still love the big open world kind of situation going on and the character building throughout the game and everything. This one will at least catch the attention of a lot more people than something like The Order didn't.
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't think it's obviously not going to be in the territory of fucking God of War and Spider-Man, of course, but I think it'll do all right. I know you're going to get it either way. So.
I mean, I'm sure that when that comes out, I think it's out in May now.
Did it get pushed back to May? I thought it was March.
No, it definitely got pushed back. I think it's in April or May now.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to look it up again. But yeah, it got pushed back before Christmas. Final Fantasy VII Remake director Tetsuya Nomura and producer Yoshinari Kitase actually gave an interview with Weekly Famitsu over the holidays. And they were talking about, of course, Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yep.
Teasing people about a potential reveal, which they have not yet given a date on.
Mm-hmm.
But they're talking about their messages for the new year. Nomura-san, he says, keyword for the new year is simply 7.
Yeah. Well, because Kingdom Hearts 3 it's
done, right?
It's good to go. We're getting it in like 2 weeks.
It's probably been done for a while.
All eyes are on 7 Remake now.
And his message is, various plans will be announced, which is the most vague fucking statement
That sounds
ever.
like a Trumpism right there. Various plans. We got huge plans.
The only way that could be more vague is if he said various plans may or may not be announced, maybe.
That's too many words. It's not simple enough.
Yeah, well, it loses something in the translation.
Yeah.
Japanese is a marvelously subtle language.
I feel like they're gonna have, because Square Enix throws their own event and everything like that. They'll have their own fucking parade and shit, and I think it's going to be like a fucking 2-hour presentation on everything they have for 7 remakes so far.
Maybe
because they don't. It's not that they don't have anything else right now, but there's nothing else that's making people like salivate over Squeenix right now.
Well, I mean, if you want to talk about it, there's Left Alive that's coming out in the next 2 months or so that I'm really interested in seeing. Which is
we're interested in seeing it, but that's not one that people are like losing their fucking minds over.
I guess not. They gotta announce their Deus Ex game.
Yeah, Beer sounds like Sony's plans for PR in 2019. Plans will be announced.
We have plans.
Words will be said.
No, 2019 is going to be an interesting year for Sony because like we've talked about, I don't think it's going to be till 2019.
It'll be
2020 rather.
It'll be a quiet year. Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
They'll play it close to their chest.
Well, I mean, they have enough to carry them through, but I think their first party content is whatever we've seen, and that's it.
Oh, hi, Evolutionary. Welcome to the chat. We're talking about Squeenix being kind of mum on the details with 7 being the word of the year for them right now, because Kingdom Hearts 3 is obviously we're getting that in like 2 weeks. So they're talking about 7 Remake, but they're not saying anything right now other than look forward to information this year.
That was Nomura-san. So that was the director. The producer, Kitase-san, says the keyboard is long wait. Well, his message for 2019 is, I'd like to try my best to respond to the expectations of the fans. So also remarkably vague.
Yes, incredibly vague.
So if their plans are still to release it in 3 parts, we have to see something. We have to see the first part, a demo.
And that's the thing.
I need to see an active time battle.
This is one of those situations of like, don't you guys have phones? Don't do that, okay? Don't fucking do that, all right? Show us the first part of the first game that you're making.
Yep.
Tell us some information, maybe even a close to release date or whatever, that type of situation. Give us something to look forward to and some solid information. Don't fucking toy with Final Fantasy VII fans, because they will eat you alive.
Oh, well, I mean, Squeenix, they're going to fuck it up. That's just
And that's
just
the whole
all
thing.
it
Is like
is.
I don't mind the game if it's going to be that huge of a remake and stuff. If they're
Yep.
doing it in 3 parts, that's fine. But don't do this whole thing of like, hey, we're going to show you a bunch of stuff this year. Oh yeah, and then expect the first part in another 3 years. It's
This
like,
is from
well,
this-
what the fuck are you doing?
This is from the same company that teased people at PSX the year before with, oh, Final Fantasy VII, and brings up the logo, everybody loses their goddamn mind. And it's the PC port, and it's like all the same, but like higher resolution. It's like,
oh, they knew what they were doing.
Oh my God.
They knew what they were doing.
That was like a Sean Layden t-shirt level troll.
yeah, that's definitely on that level.
So I wouldn't put it past them. They screw it up.
Don't you guys have patience?
Yeah. Considering I waited 10 years for The Last Guardian. I waited 10 years for Final Fantasy 15. One of those 2 games was good.
This is true.
The other one was Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if they're making it like if Nomura is going to make it like a Kingdom Hearts game, I'm going to be irritated.
I mean, it's possible.
I need to see an active time battle.
Because that's the whole thing is we saw that little snippet of what gameplay could look like, but I mean that was literally a tech demo at that point. So I
and that
think,
was a leak too.
And that was a leak too. So I mean they could go back and be like, oh, fans didn't like that. Change it.
I don't know.
I don't know. Who knows? Like, I'm just excited for some information finally after all this time.
I'm just glad that 7 wasn't my favorite of the Final Fantasy games to begin with. So if it comes out and it sucks,
you have no horse in this race anyways.
I mean, I'd like it to be good. Mechanically, the game was great. If they improve the visuals, like all they have to do now is tweak the story.
And I don't even mind if the combat just doesn't suck, but it's still like a bit different. I don't mind that. The part that I'm worried about is that they're going to take all the new convoluted systems from the newer Final Fantasies and cram them into 7 and then just make it worse. The thing I liked about 7 is because I'm not a complicated person. I don't like magic draw systems and all this bullshit of cards and upgrading and everything. That's like, no, give me weapons with slots and materia and let me go fight guys. Like, that's what I fucking want to do. That's what that game is. So,
Seems simple enough to me.
Yeah, I liked it. It was simple enough, but it was still just that kind of new gen at that point anyways, that it looked different and it was fun. I enjoyed that one. And I really hope they don't bog it down with a bunch of new stuff because it's what the fans want.
All right. Ubisoft, what's your question? With Kingdom Hearts 3 coming to PC, do you suppose Square Enix will have the foresight to release the previous games on PC? On PC? I mean,
I don't see why not. I mean, they've released them on multiple platforms
did
now.
the Xbox One got the
like the
1.5 and 2.5
the story
right?
so far kind of situation. I don't see why they wouldn't, because
Oh wait, no, or did they?
I thought they got it, or did they get a different iteration of it or something
I'm not sure
like
that they did.
I don't see why.
Jay Tanuki, can you check that out for me?
I don't see why they wouldn't, just because if you're going to sell them a game on the PC with a story as convoluted as Kingdom Hearts, you should really give them the first part of it.
Yeah, I mean, well, you say that, but don't forget that you also had situations like Dead Rising, where how many years did PlayStation owners have to wait before they got the original Dead Rising?
But that was the whole 360 PS3 fuckery of like deep pockets and be like, oh, put it on our system for 2 years and shit like that.
There you go.
Like,
good news. It looks like Discount's going to solve the audio-only problem and leave us out of it, so I don't have to do anything about that, and he's going to do it all himself. Good job. All right, Discount just got voluntold.
right,
So, Mamkill, you
works.
can direct all of your audio-only requests to Discount at digitalfiasco.wdf.
we do have multiple people that want it, so
That's fine.
He's going to do.
Don't worry about it. Discount's going to take care of it.
Okay.
There you go. All right. So, you never know. Let's see.
Okay.
No
so
release at 2.0 anything but PS4. Story so far is also PS4 exclusive. Did they also get like the
Interesting.
1.5 compilations or the 2.5 compilations?
They must have got something. I just find it
don't know
weird
that
that
they
they
did.
would give Xbox One and PC owners 3, but then none of the previous games.
No, see, I think it may have been a publishing thing, because I think it might have been like Square in association with Sony. That might have been the thing.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I don't
all
know.
of them
Either
are
that,
PlayStation
or
only.
maybe they'll work their way into it after the fact. So people
Maybe.
will play 3 and they'll be like, "What did I just watch?
Yeah.
I want to go back and play the other ones."
Fuck Sony, genuinely, Evolutionary. Well, I'd like to argue with that, but not being
Holla, hey
as
guys.
big.
Hey, Holla.
Hey, Holla, how you doing?
Welcome to the chat.
We've got a bunch of new people, or old people and new people all at the same time tonight. This is good. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts, I just started. We were talking about it earlier. My first impressions of the first game, and how that Tarzan level really sucks.
It's not great.
So, yeah, if you're an Xbox owner and you're just now getting into it and 3 comes out,
yeah.
I can't see it being interesting to you at all.
Yeah, like that, again, that's the part that
Yeah.
strikes me as odd, is just like, if you're going to sell 3 to people on a system that hasn't had the previous ones,
Yeah.
they're going to be confused as fuck.
Yeah,
I played
yeah.
the first couple of the games and some of the weird random ones in between, and I'm still confused as fuck, so...
Well, we'll see. I'm curious. Like, I'm starting the game. I'm going to try and keep track of stuff. I'm going to write down notes about what fucking doesn't make sense as it happens.
Well, good luck.
Yeah.
You're going to need like a full scribbler for that.
You know what? It couldn't be any more confusing than goddamn near. Like, that is a whacked out fucking history, let me tell you. All right, let's move on from Kingdom Hearts. Beyond Good and Evil 2, we've pretty much confirmed that it's going to be a game as a service style game.
Yeah.
And that's been essentially confirmed because Ubisoft has said that you will require an online connection to play.
Yeah.
There will be no offline play at all. So it's basically like Destiny.
And I'm honestly not surprised because of the scope
No.
of the game they're going for. It only makes sense that it would be a games as a service, online all the time type of situation.
Not really surprising. It's a little disappointing still to me because I didn't want them to go that way.
Yeah.
But now that they have.
We wanted it like an
Right.
enclosed story like the first one, but yeah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
so.
but now that they've gone that way, some people are still surprised for some reason. I don't know why.
I would just like to see it differ from the games that it's copying as a games of a service. So I don't want it to be another fucking, Destiny or Anthem or whatever. I want it to be its own unique thing, even if it is a games as a service type game.
Can't have the complete story presented right in front of you, and there's still things that will never make sense. Well, that's just bad writing then. If that's the case. So Kazutoki, of course, being the big Kingdom Hearts apologist, will never admit that there's any issues. But that's okay. Online only, I'm worried they're going to end up like Fallout 76.
And that's
maybe.
kind of my point. Like, so
Right.
Fallout 76, Destiny, Anthem, like all of these type of ones that are
Yeah.
big games as a service.
Well-
that because that's the whole thing, is the model can technically work. It's just a lot of the AAA devs that have handled it so far have handled it very poorly.
See, I think what Fallout 76 had that Beyond Good and Evil 2 would not have in terms of issues.
Yeah.
Fallout 76, there's a long-standing tradition of single-player games behind that
Yes,
franchise, right?
that's
So
true.
your fan base is innately a single-player community. You get a multiplayer community who maybe this probably is their first experience with a game-as-a-service game.
Yeah.
These are not generally the Destiny people or, the Division people. Mm-hmm. They play this game and they go, why is it so barren in here? Why is it, where is all the
Yeah.
content? It's a completely different experience. And even for someone who has played like a lot of Destiny, I know that Tron had been talking about.
And KTA's getting a...
KTA.
He's like, I heard Destiny, you rang.
Hunters still suck, my friend. Anyway, so if you're not used to that kind of environment, you come into a games as a service game, it could be a bit of a shock.
Yeah.
So-
But, again, it's one
Yeah.
of those things, like 76 and Destiny
Right.
are two different beasts
Yeah,
altogether.
no, but we're not talking about 76 and Destiny. We're talking about 76 and Beyond Good and Evil 2, right?
Oh, they're going to be nothing like
Right.
because unlike 76,
Right.
Beyond Good and Evil 2 is going to have non-player characters in it.
Almost everyone that is going to play Beyond Good and Evil 2 has never even played the first game. Because the first game was a cult classic. It was a very small but determined group of people that, this is a great game.
Yep.
It continues to sell over years. They did their HD remaster, which is basically just the same game over again.
Mm-hmm.
I bought that one. I bought the original one,
It was actually a PS Plus title on the PS3 back in the day, too.
Was it on the PS3?
Yeah,
Okay.
a couple years ago now. But
Yeah, but I already owned it at that point, so...
Mm-hmm.
He loves us, apparently.
Love you
so.
too, KT.
Yeah, but anyway, so I think that it has a lot better chance of doing well just on the face of it because no one has any, or I won't say no one, but very few people actually have an experience with the original game.
Right.
And those that do have an experience with the original game, they just want a new one so badly, they'll probably play it anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just if I put because they're both unreleased so far.
Right.
If I put up Beyond Good and Evil next to Anthem,
Yep.
I think I'm more in the camp of Beyond Good and Evil because just the world and the gameplay generally looks more interesting than
Sure.
Anthem, just because Anthem looks like a Destiny clone at this
Yeah,
point.
but it's like then
It's like I love shooty stuff, I love
Yeah.
explosions and everything, but even if it's this big expansive world and you talk to all these NPCs and shit like that and get all these quests and everything, it feels so by the numbers and everything like that. Whereas Beyond Good and Evil, from what we've seen of it so far, anyways, it just looks genuinely more interesting.
Yeah, it's
and you're gonna have your
world.
own pirate spaceship. Like that's just cool on its own.
Chock full of monkeys.
And other random weird animal people.
Yeah, but this is the problem I have. Is we're going the way of back in the mid 90s where every game had to have multiplayer because everyone loves multiplayer. So you get stupid situations where you have what was it, Bionic Commando multiplayer, which was just
which could have worked, but they just slapped it on at the end. That was the problem.
No, I mean at least Red Faction multiplayer is deathmatch, that kind of game. Fine, Bionic Commando didn't need multiplayer.
It's like Red Faction. Like you have a grappling hook and guns.
Yes,
you can have a deathmatch, but the problem is that they rushed it at the end, and they didn't have any interesting maps. The mechanics were broken. No one was playing it. I mean, that didn't help.
But Red Faction had destruction-based multiplayer maps specifically for that format. Like did they
but that's because they baked it into the game.
Yeah.
They actually spent time on that multiplayer. Bionic Commando literally slapped it on at the end. I watched videos about this. They were about to ship it, or not about to ship it, but they were close to finishing it, and they were like, it needs multiplayer. Everything has multiplayer, and they fucking threw it in there. So that's why it was so broken.
But anyway, we won't get into how Red Faction is inherently superior to most multiplayer games.
Yes, I know. You can go jerk off about it later.
And I may. But the reason I brought that up is now we're in this state where all these companies are trying to do as-a-service games. Like games as a service is great, but live service games, there can only be so many that you're doing at once.
Oh, yeah.
Before you've got maximum solubility in the market, right? You got this year, you got The Division 2, you got probably some kind of Destiny 3, you got Beyond Good and Evil 2, you got what was it, at the end of the year you got Skull and Bones from Ubisoft, the same fucking company. They're competing against themselves at that point. In another pirate game, just one in space, one in the water.
I think one's gonna be a little heavier than the other one, but
I mean Skull and Bones probably.
No, what it comes down to is it's the same issue that you're gonna see with multiplayer being added on to a bunch of games in the past, a bunch of the battle royale modes and stuff like that. These things are the hot ticket right now because one game catches on fire, so everyone's just like, I gotta do that. I gotta put that in my game. The problem is that anything that has to do with multiplayer and online instantly limits your game to a 2 to 3 year lifespan, because after that point, nobody is fucking playing that game. And that part of the game, if that is your entire game, if you build a game based on Battle Royale, like a PUBG or a Fortnite, as soon as that audience drops out, the game is dead.
Hang on a second. High Evolution asks a good question. He says, would you rather have games as a service or loot boxes? Because personally, I'd rather pay a season pass and have everything in the game earnable and unlockable. Now, I mean, I think that's kind of a false equivalence. I don't think those two are really...
Depends on the game. There are some that equate to it, some that don't.
Because games as a service, or loot boxes, depending on how they're created, can be more or less shitty. You get stuff like Overwatch, where it's like a random chance of blah blah. That's hinky. Okay. When it's just stuff you can buy yourself, or you get it randomly. That's something different.
Equal or not, I'm of the camp that if I can spend a bit more money and know what I'm getting, I'm going to do that.
Right.
That's what it comes down to.
I have no problem with microtransactions. If people want to pay that, whatever. Like Arkham, it's the gambling.
Arkham City. Yeah. They had a costume pack.
Jesus.
Did they ever? They had a costume pack that had 10 costumes in it. Yeah. And it cost $6.99 or something like that. I bought it because it had Batman Beyond in it, and it had the Batman the Animated Series skin in it, because I fucking wanted those to play the game. But I bought it because the other costumes, they were cool, but I knew what I was fucking getting. I spent $7. I knew exactly where my $7 was going.
Back in my day, you just bought the game and you knew exactly what you were getting.
10 fucking boxes and wind up with one costume I wanted and then 3 copies of a costume I didn't give a shit about, and then a bunch of other ones that I was never going to use. I will pay more money if I know what I'm getting.
But going back to games as a service, the only problem I have with games as a service is that it is designed to be a treadmill.
Yes.
And it is designed to incentivize buying in-game currency and speeding your experience along. When we've gotten to the point where you are paying to not play the game you just bought, that's a failure in game design.
Yeah.
Or I mean, it's a failure from the point of view from the consumer. From a developer's point of view, it's like
they're all on board with it. That's why everyone's getting so hot on that whole thing of like, oh, we want a games as a service game. We want our own version of, Fallout 76 or Destiny or whatever.
But once again, the perfect model for games as a service is always, I'll come back to GTA.
Yeah.
Because GTA Online did it exactly right. Yet all of that additional content, players could play forever. You could play for a year. All the heists, I would have paid an extra $30 for that alone. They gave it away for free.
Yeah.
All of those content updates for free. And it's all subsidized by microtransactions, not necessarily ones that I've done, because I've never bought GTA Cash in my life.
Yeah.
But I could still enjoy that content. It's still a bit of a grind, though. You're sitting there putting in the time to get your cash, or you could buy it and shortcut all of that treadmill.
Yeah.
So that's the problem I have with game as a service games, and why I will pretty much always prefer a single player experience.
Yeah, the only issue I really see in Rockstar's kind of field of Grand Theft Auto 5 and how they're doing that, and soon to be Red Dead Online, is
which is actually a little shystier.
You have a little bit of pay to win in that aspect, because you can sit there and you can grind it out, and then you can go buy that rifle that you want, or that car that you want, or whatever, or you can pay up front and be like, hey, I got the bucks for it right now, I'll take it. In that online environment, when you're hunting other players and shit like that, that instantly gives you an advantage if you've got that sweet gun with a scope on it and shit, and the other guy starts with a little revolver.
Now, High Evolutionary brings up another point. He's talking about MMOs. He says Final Fantasy 14 is a perfect MMO, pays $8.99 a month. That's in pounds. It doesn't have to pay for cosmetics and feel like he achieves something when I raid. Now, my experience with Final Fantasy, not 9. 10?
You had 11 and 14. 11. Those were the online ones.
I didn't play 14. 14 is apparently really good now.
Yeah, a lot of people really enjoy that one.
Yeah. Back when I was still in my MMO phase, I would pay like a $20 subscription, which is roughly the same equivalent when you do the conversion.
Yeah.
If I wasn't there with my friends who were raiding, all the time, they eventually would get further and further ahead of me. If I wanted to do something else, if I wanted to play another game, I was actively playing, like Activision Blizzard to not play WoW while I played another game for a week. So I thought, so that's a quarter of my month I spent playing this game. I feel like I'm not getting my money's worth.
Yep.
And it's like, it always drives you back to playing that game. So I got out of MMOs. I would actually prefer games as a service to an MMO, because it's still a grind, but it's a free grind.
Yeah. There's also a real difference there too, because you have different gamers. Because you will have gamers. We have one in the chat tonight, Mamekill. He's a huge World of Warcraft fan.
He's a huge something.
He likes to play other random games on PS4 and whatnot. But outside of that, he plays a lot of World of Warcraft. And if you dedicate, 2/3 of your month to playing that game, if you're getting your value out of it, that's perfectly fine. The problem that me and you have with MMOs is that we want to play so many other fucking games that other one kind of falls to the wayside, or you only get to play it a couple nights in a month, and all of a sudden that $10, that $20, whatever, is basically going to waste at that point.
Also, I've only got so many hours in the day, honestly.
That too. I mean, we could use a few extra new hours in the day.
At some point, the equation shifts, and it's just about, I don't have time to play this game for 100 hours a freaking week.
Yeah, exactly.
And Beer says, people complain so much about AC Odyssey, and it was a fine game without spending a penny extra. And I 100% agree with him. I don't know who's complaining about that, because it does have some as-a-service components, but there's so much content in the actual game.
They're very limited, which is
and incredibly
breath of fresh air at this point, because a lot of people are like, oh, hey, here's this brand new AAA title, and then a quarter of the content is locked behind some kind of currency or store or something like that. And that's not how you fucking do it. That will make me not buy a game, because if I'm going to pay $80 for a brand new game, and you're going to lock a third of the content away, fuck you.
Destiny.
Well, again, that's a games as a service, not a single player game.
If I'd known that was going to generate so much discussion, I would have made that our big ticket, not Fortnite dances.
Hey, it's all good, man.
Whatever. That was our big ticket, folks.
News was a little slim tonight anyways.
Wasn't. I was about to say, ESRB rated Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. It is listed as M for mature due to its, quote, large blood spatter effects, decapitation, impaling people through the chest with swords, and stabbing a child off screen.
Oh, off screen? That doesn't count. He could have just punctured a watermelon, and the kid could have screamed because he really liked that watermelon.
Toby!
My watermelon!
Anyway, March 22nd, 2019. Can't wait for that. That's like basically Tenchu.
I know. I'm super stoked for that.
Tenchu in everything but name.
It's ninja goodness.
Yes.
You know, with a grappling hook and killing zombies and shit. It looks awesome.
Also, apparently, Conan O'Brien, he went to Kojima Studios. He has seen Death Stranding. He did some kind of video thing with...
Oh, so he got to do a...
Clueless Gamer?
Clueless Gamer, yeah.
Maybe. But if he did, that means that game is, far enough along that he can play it.
They did say that they could play it start to finish, so
Maybe.
There's that.
But that's internally, though. I can't imagine someone like Conan, who isn't a gamer, sitting down with an unfinished game.
That's kind of the joke, is that, he doesn't give a shit and he's not good at games, so they're like, let's bring him in because it'll be funny because he won't even know what he's looking at.
Man. Let me tell you, though, it'd be funny if Conan was just a random guy in one of the scenes. They just scanned his face, put him in there, had him with his hair, back and forth.
I would not be surprised if Kojima would actually do that.
Kojima's weird that way. You never know. You never know. All right. So, since it's the non-big ticket, a bunch of people are suing Epic for their Fortnite dances.
Yes.
So, 2 Milli, Alfonso Ribeiro, and Russell Horning, the Backpack Kid.
Yes.
They're all suing Epic. That's about all I care about talking about that.
That's pretty much it.
Yep.
I know a few people mentioned it in the chat. Basically, what it's come down to is that a lot of those people don't have a leg to stand on, except for 2 of them.
Well, the problem is you can't copyright a dance move.
Yeah. One single dance move you can't copyright. The only reason why 2 of them have a chance is because they're multiple dance moves strung together in a specific way.
Even still, no. Like, this is stupid. Individual movements or dance steps by themselves are not copyrightable, even if a routine is novel or distinctive, states the U.S. Copyright Office. It's stupid. But, even if it isn't illegal to steal them, it's still shisty and it looks bad. It's a PR disaster.
All they're going to do is they're going to go in and tweak the dances so they're not quite the same, and then that'll be that.
No, I think they're either going to pull them or they're going to cut a check and just say, hey, we're these guys, we'll donate to charity something just to get them the fuck off their lawn.
You don't think they're just going to tweak the dances so they can't be like, don't worry about it.
No. Like, that's a PR issue. It's not a legal issue. It's like, it looks bad. And with Epic now suddenly the biggest thing since sliced bread, the last thing they want is any kind of blotch on their
but the
resume.
problem is that blotch isn't going to happen because guess what? Their fans are a bunch of 12-year-olds that don't fucking care.
So is the Backpack Kid. He's like, I don't know.
He has that's like the worst one of them all because he's already been proven wrong like 10 times over.
What do you mean?
That he didn't invent the dance.
He didn't invent the dance?
No.
That's how much I give a shit about the Backpack Kid.
That dance was invented 4 years before he did it.
Oh.
And they've already proven it. There's a video on YouTube saying, hey, this guy in 2010 fucking did this thing.
Name kills right. Like, they got money to spare.
Yeah, they got money to fucking burn. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but hey, you can't impugn the integrity of the amazing rapper 2 Milli.
Anyways.
Did I sell it?
Nope. Not even close.
Come on. 60% at best. All right. You know what time it is.
Yeah.
It's time to press select on the options menu. Yeah, we still don't have a thing for that. We need to
select. I would love my PlayStation to make that every time I hit the options button. That would be hilarious.
Well, you don't have to take my word for it. Every week, we have a rotating series of topics that we go over. This week, we are going to have Steal This Idea, one of my favorites. And it's going to be a idea that we have that we will give to a developer. Make our game, take our idea, go forth and program. But it has to be good, and you have to let us play it. Otherwise, we're coming after you and we're going to sue you. If you fuck up our idea, you're screwed.
But if it's good, just give us a copy of the game and we're square.
I'll even buy the game. Just make it so that I can buy it. I am 100% fine with that.
Yeah.
But our ideas are yours as long as you do it right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Dandr0id, what do you got for
Thank
me?
you, Janus Marine. That helps.
I think I need some additional water.
Okay. Go run along. Go ahead. I'll just talk to the empty chair like I always do because you have to run away at the end of the show. High discount!
Who gives a shit about discounts?
The graphic was stolen. Anyways, okay, so good way to start the year off. This is one of my favorite fucking options menu choices. So, as I said at the top of the show, over the holidays and stuff, I've been on a real Mega Man kick. So, what I would love to see, and they have technically done this before, but it was terrible, is I would love to see... I guess this goes up to Capcom because they own all the licensing. I want to see a Mega Man fighting game. So they had...
Capcom ain't gonna do shit.
They had... Capcom don't know shit.
You don't know shit about business.
So they had a Mega Man arcade fighting game.
Okay, yeah, I remember that one.
But it was terrible, unfortunately.
They need to make it like was that one with the saws and whatnot? Time Killers.
Time Killers?
Yeah, they had it's like a praying mantis guy. You would like decapitate their arms and their legs off and stuff.
I haven't seen that before. That sounds a bit violent for Mega Man.
No, pretty sure it was Time Killers. Someone look that up. Time Killers. I think it was an old arcade game.
Yeah. But anyways, so they had an arcade fighting game. So again, that concept writes itself. So you go back in Mega Man history of Mega Man, you have Mega Man X, there's the Robot Masters, you have the Mavericks.
Yep.
You have this amazing, colorful cast of villains, and of course all the heroes to go along with it.
Sure.
How awesome would it be to have all of those, have like the 2 factions of it, or even 3, like add... even if it wants to be DLC, you can add in the Mega Man.exe, you can add in the Star Boost or whatever the fuck that title was. Okay. You can add in the ZX Advent one, like all that stuff, the Zero series. You could have all these amazing factions with all these like villains and heroes and stuff like that, and make an awesome fighting game out of it. Either like one of the really like Clash-tastic like anime style fighting ones.
Yep.
Or I would even take a Smash Brothers style one where you have, it's like an arena brawler almost.
Okay.
Just because you could have, again, amazing levels based on all the Robot Masters and all the heroes and everything. Because they all have their own character, they all have their own style, they have their own attacks. They're fucking legendary. Like a lot of these characters, you see them, you know exactly who they are right when you see them. Mm-hmm. So there's just so much lore and so many characters and so much time put into those characters in those games that a fighting game is like a necessity at this point, especially with how big some of the fighting games have become. Yeah. Not only Smash Brothers, but like your Street Fighter, your Soul Calibers, like all that kind of thing. I would love to see something like that. And then, of course, if they could add a make your own Reploid mode or something like that, that would be really fucking cool. Just grab like a random power and design your own character and then play that one in the game too. But yeah, like a Soul Calibur, or they even have like a prime example. If it was like Smash Brothers,
sure,
they have the Mii fighters, and you can choose 3 different modes. They have one that literally has like a Buster Cannon on his arm. They have a fighter, and then they have a sword fighter, like a sword and shield guy. You could literally do the same thing, customize all their like armor pieces and everything like that.
Oh, real chill.
Oh, real chill.
For 3 months, he has been resubscribed. Thank you very much, sir. Cheers to you.
Help him to keep that light on over there. And that one probably too at this point. 3 months that's a lot.
that right there is one of our PSU brethren.
Awesome.
Brothers in arms.
Mega Man versus Zangief. I mean, you can do that in Marvel versus Capcom anyways. Or Capcom versus SNK. I don't know whichever one it was. But yeah, I think that there's just so many fucking characters and it's a real missed opportunity, especially now. And I really hope that they try to revisit that, because Capcom is finally getting the message that we want more Mega Man. Because 11 did extremely well. We've gotten, word from someone in Capcom that we may be getting another Mega Man title. It's obviously not going to be Mega Man 12 because they just did 11. Everyone is like, give us X9. We've been fucking waiting forever for this. So I'll take X9, but hey, I'd love a fighting game too to go along with it. I think that would be spectacular. And again, it's one of those games that writes itself. I mean, you have a bunch of Mega Man-esque characters. They have the different attacks. It would just be so much fun to play.
Bayonetta face-sitting stage, only in the Suda51 version of Bayonetta.
I don't think that one will ever leave Japan.
Jesus Christ. Can you imagine if Suda51 got a hold of the Bayonetta franchise? Holy crap.
And Maimkill, if you're interested in a Mega Man FPS, unfortunately, it never came to be. There was a lot of fan outcry about it. I don't think it was ever really going to be a thing, but it was like a tech demo. Look up, I think it's called, just look up Mega Man Maverick X FPS or whatever, and take a look at that, because they did have a tech demo concept for a more realistic humanoid Mega Man in like Halo-esque looking armor with like a red X visor and a big buster on his arm and everything. And they did a tech demo of a first-person shooter Mega Man game, and it looked genuinely interesting. I would have liked to try it out, but yeah, it was just like a tech demo thing. But yeah, go check that out. I think it's called Maverick X.
So maybe something like Xenoverse, where you have like a whole fighter creator thing attached to it
like
too.
I would absolutely adore that, because again, being a Mega Man fan, who doesn't want to make their own like Mega Man character to fight alongside all of these?
I just want to fight as Woodman all the time with his leaf shield.
Yeah,
man.
or Top Man spinning around on his roller skates.
Okay.
Penguin, yeah, get him in there.
Not every Robot Master was a winner.
No,
we're
they
just
really
gonna
weren't.
say so.
Although I have been listening to a lot of the soundtracks on YouTube, and Top Man actually has one of the best Robot Master musics. I guess to make up for how lame the character is.
I don't know. As I recall, that Top Power was pretty
the
good,
power was really good. Just the Robot Master was really lame. It was a dude dressed as like a Dreidel almost, and he had roller skates on. That was a pretty lame Robot Master.
Pretty sure they
Dreidel man.
They used the same guy for motion capture that was the guy in the big shell roller skating around. Don't remember what the hell that guy's name was. Roller Dwarf. I don't remember.
Yeah.
It was the Metal Gear 2.
Yeah.
What the hell was that guy's name?
I don't know.
That's gonna drive me nuts
you'd
now.
have to look that up. Drive me nuts.
Yar.
Yeah, real chill. Yeah.
Yep.
Even if it was a Japanese only, I would like learn Japanese just to play the fucking game. I want it. I want it so badly. Especially after we got robbed of Mega Man. There was Mega Man Online that never happened. That was supposed to be like an MMO style thing, and Mega Man Maker officially from Capcom that got axed too. So like, I need something. I want something outside of just the normal games, and not Mega Man Soccer.
I'd play Mega Man Soccer.
Well, I mean they had it on Super Nintendo, but
Picture Mega Man Soccer, but it's gonna be like Blitzball.
But would you play Mega Man Monopoly?
No,
because that was a thing. I found that out.
There's always a Monopoly for everything.
No, but this wasn't a Monopoly game. This was called Rockboard.
Oh,
and it was a Monopoly clone on Nintendo, and it was Mega Man themed.
So,
look that one up if you're really interested in Mega Man lore.
Yeah, look it up in your Rockboard files.
Stop it. No, go lie down. Anyways, so yeah, that was necessary.
Okay.
All right, what you got?
Okay. I've come up with some ideas in the past that you've enjoyed.
Yeah, of course.
I've come up with some solid game ideas.
I honestly don't think there was a game that you've come up with that I wouldn't play at this point.
Well, now we're going to put that to the test.
This is a really weird one.
Because the F-Zero RPG, that was a winner. I think Dead Space Rising, that was a good one. The Alien Speedway game. There's a bunch of stuff.
There was your Area 88 one.
Oh, the Area 88, the open world one. Oh my God, I want to play that so much. Okay, so this is the one. This is going to be a bit of a diversion for me.
Okay.
So I would like to create a cooking game.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Now, not just a cooking game, but like an Iron Chef cooking game.
All right.
So this is the setup. This is probably the biggest diversion in terms of games that I would like to see made that I think I've ever pitched. Okay. Iron Chef cooking game, and it stars, Joe Blow. It'd be Dick Sledge, right? Yes. But here's the thing. Dick Sledge, as he's walking down the street, you create your character, you customize your character. You know, he doesn't know how to cook. He's just some random Joe off the street, and you have your stats.
You just
and
blackjack him across the back of the head and throw him in a van.
No. Get this, but you're actually remarkably close.
Okay.
So he doesn't know how to cook. He's got random stats. He's got like maybe it'd be like RimWorld where you have like a positive and negative effect. Like he burns certain things or whatever. He gets abducted by aliens.
Okay.
And he gets put in an alien live show, Iron Chef 3-person cooking game.
Yeah.
And he can't get out until he wins the show.
Okay.
But he doesn't know what any of the ingredients are.
Oh my God.
What they taste like.
Yeah.
Or what happens when you combine them together.
So there's like a bucket of green goo and some tentacles on a plate. And
correct. So basically, he has to figure out like what the hell is going on, what is good, what is bad, and what is tasty to the judges, which obviously may not be the same thing as is tasty to him. So he has to learn how to cook and learn how to cook with ingredients that make no sense.
Okay.
And learn how to use all these tools and stuff all live on the clock, and he has to use special ingredients like an Iron Chef game.
So is it like dude who wins his freedom, the other two get zapped with a laser and die, or
no, it's just going to be like he has to stay in captivity. They chuck him back in the hole.
Okay.
Every week.
Is there a story mode, or is it just like multiplayer showdown?
Oh, there might be a story mode. There might be, I don't know.
Just so you can kind of learn the game a little bit.
Maybe, and maybe that'll be it. Like, some guy in captivity says, "Oh, I hear that this tastes like that," and Judge blah blah likes that very much, or this judge doesn't eat anything that's blue.
Yeah, see, so stuff like that, like little clues that they drop, and then it would be really interesting that you would have to learn what planet the judges are from, so you know that those aliens can't eat this thing, or they really like this ingredient, and
maybe
stuff like
they rotate them out so that you got to apply that and change your ideas, and then maybe there'll be like two modes, like you can achieve your freedom, okay, but if you stick around, you can go for the grand prize.
Oh yes, the double down.
Yes. Where the low, like the person who loses every week is killed or like maimed somehow, where it just gets harder and harder to win because you're cooking with one less hand.
Space Iron Chef
I don't know.
battle.
I don't know. I hadn't thought about that all the way through, but I find it interesting, the concept of playing a cooking game, because right now you play a cooking game, okay, eggs, flour, butter, you basically know what's going on.
Human food.
If you don't know how to use the 3 seashells, what happens then, right? You have to figure out even how to do what you're trying to do, let alone what your end result is supposed to be.
Oh, Mamekill asked one of the real questions. How can you monetize said game with microtransactions?
And the good news is I can't. Unless you want to unlock new aliens that you can have for judges. No.
Yeah, probably something like that. But no, I would absolutely play that. I think we need more games in cooking game format. I think that adds a funny aspect to it.
Yep.
And I think everyone enjoys cooking games, honestly. If you hand someone a Wiimote and Cooking Mama, they will have a blast no matter what they're doing.
The funny thing is, I had another cooking game idea that was similar but remarkably stupider. So, picture, it's still kind of the same thing, game show format, except it was like one of those 5 robot teams.
Oh, okay, yeah.
In a giant robot.
Yeah.
They were the ones doing the cooking. And
they had to, so it's 100-foot robot golf, but it's 100-foot robot cooking.
Correct. And
you can punch the other robot while he's mixing eggs, and he throws it on the ground.
Something like that, but still that's equally stupid.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I know that there's a game on the Switch, and I think it was on the Wii U. It's like Iron Chef Brigade or something like that. It's a very anime-inspired,
I've seen that one.
Cooking battle kind of thing. I don't know how the gameplay plays out, but I would love to see a straight-up fighting game. So your ingredients are on this side, their ingredients are on that side, but you're in this kitchen and he's in this kitchen.
You have to fight
and you have to beat the crap out of each other to get at your ingredients.
And so
make it back to your bowl with the ingredients. So if you break all your eggs, that's it, you're fucked. You're out of eggs. Maybe you steal some of his or something.
If you knock him out, they lose 10 seconds while they recover.
Yeah, exactly. He's knocked out, so he's not mixing or cooking something for that time.
Oh, and while he's unconscious, his souffle is falling.
Or his oven could burn his cake while he's knocked out.
He's critically unconscious
or
at
he
a
falls
moment.
on his grill and
It's like going back to what Mamekill said before, the Punisher style executions.
Yeah, exactly. So where are the eggs? And just burn them on the grill.
I don't know. But yeah, shockingly enough, that Iron Chef Brigade, by the way, unfortunately it boils down to, I think, a match 3 game when you're doing your preparations, because I saw it. Yeah. I'm like, that kind of looks intriguing, but the match 3 just went, turns me off.
No, and it's one of those things. I honestly think that if you just took a spin like that on it, it's like alien food or whatever, but you made a cooking game out of it. I think we need more cooking games, honestly. They're always fun to play.
Which is weird that out of the blue I just came up with 2 sort of, they're obviously not related, but 2 cooking games from someone who has never pitched anything that didn't have a robot or explosions in it.
And again, sometimes you got to think outside the box, and then you're not always about explosions and guns and stuff like that. We have fun with Overcooked and stuff like that.
I'm not always about explosions and guns. It just, helps.
And then look, a game like Crawl that we enjoy so much.
Crawl is so awesome.
There's technically no explosions in that, I think.
Unless you call the blood beam.
There's fireballs. No, that was Moon Hunters.
Moon Hunters, I know. But he still says it.
Yeah.
Discount still, yes.
Oh, Mamekill, yeah. be all over that. A
Desert Strike remake, yeah.
But like classic style. It's still isometric, but just looks really nice.
Oh, yeah, like Soviet Strike and Nuclear Strike.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
PlayStation ones back
Those
in the
were
day.
a little trickier, though, because you were a jet instead of...
that was a... No. There was...
there was one that had a jet, and there was one that had
Urban
a
Strike.
helicopter. Urban Strike,
yeah. Urban Strike, you had like the F-117, I think it was. It was like the stealth fighter.
You could still fly pretty slow for an airplane, but it was still trickier than flying a helicopter that could hover.
Desert Strike, Jungle Strike, then Urban Strike. That was on the Super Nintendo and Genesis. Then for the PlayStation 1, they had Soviet Strike and Nuclear Strike. And those games were hard as balls.
Even Desert Strike was hard as balls. I don't think I could beat level 3 on that fucking game. I think there was only like 5 levels in the game anyways, but still, it was difficult.
Yeah, and the maps were huge too. Like, those were really good games.
Discount, yes, an NFL Blitz-style cooking game. You have to carry an egg to the fucking end zone without it getting broken.
Jeez.
I just want another NFL Blitz game, honestly. We haven't had one of those in years. There's but the newer one they made that wasn't NFL proper, like it was Blitz the League, I think, or something like that. It wasn't good.
It wasn't good. I mean, like, even the NBA Jam remake wasn't that great either.
It was, I
think the time has passed for those kind of games.
The NFL Blitz is fine because that's like 3D. It's proper football and stuff. NBA Jam was just an arcade mashup. Like it was so fucking ridiculous and crazy fast and whatnot. And yeah, unless you're really into that one specific type of gameplay, then it's kind of
where the hell
its time.
Where the hell's my Base Wars sequel? That's what I want to see.
I mean, Base Wars, Mutant Hockey League, Mutant Football League, like all these things that need to be
or what was it? Mutant League Football.
Yeah.
The similar yet legally distinct from Mutant League Football. It's like Mutant Football League, Mutant League Football.
I'm surprised they got away with that one, honestly.
Oh, but they're not in the same order.
Oh, yeah, even NFL Street. All the EA big titles, I miss those. That was when EA was actually, like, doing good shit back in the day.
Or just another SSX would be great.
Yeah, like SSX and Freakstyle were the two big games that I was playing for EA Big anyways. Like, I loved both of those.
Since we came in a bit early, we got about 10 minutes left to go, including our outro. I want to hear what else you guys were playing over the holidays. I want to hear what you got for Christmas, what you were playing.
Or if you have any questions, too.
Oh, or
because I know there was a few questions kind of flying by there. If we missed something, feel free to ask it again, because, again, it's all about the discussion here.
A lot of people in the chat today, so I know I didn't get all the questions.
Oh, there you go. And Kill 'Em All says SSX was his childhood.
Well, there you go.
That was some of my teenage years, but
childhood.
Still. Yeah, that's cute. Did you ever play a lot of SSX?
Oh, yeah, I played the shit out of that.
Oh, okay.
SSX and SSX Tricky. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, those were great. And which is ironic, because I don't really like those kind of sports games.
Yeah.
But it was like all the tricks and the half pipe and whatnot.
Yeah, it's very addictive because they make it so easy to string all the combos together. It's the same thing with like Tony Hawk.
I didn't even like Tony Hawk.
Oh, really?
I mean, it was a good game. It was
probably
just not
because
my
SSX
thing.
was like next level. It was like so futuristic and far out there that it was like, okay, this is weird enough that I'll bite.
I don't know, maybe. Like, it was an early PS2 game, right?
Did you ever play Freakstyle? It was the EA big dirt biking game. So it was like SSX, but you had a dirt bike. And it was
but then,
insane.
Then you're into the driving, and I'm not so good with the driving.
Oh, but it was like literally like SSX. So it was like stunt on a dirt bike on insane trails.
That just seems worse to me. I can't drive on a flat road that goes straight half of these games.
That's because you have to combo in the air half the time.
Yeah,
so
Tricky was definitely probably the best of that series.
Yeah, absolutely.
And very good. And Mamekill is playing Mafia 3.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we were talking to him a bit
very
about
good.
that. Yeah,
I still like that game. I wish they'd
still have to get that game.
Unfortunately, it didn't sell very well.
I think it was just a timing thing for that one too.
Well, yeah, they took it over from another company entirely.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
It was like a whole thing with that company that 2K. I don't remember what specifically it was, but they had most of it done, like all the cutscenes and everything done, and then they had to redo some of the gameplay itself.
And KTA, I mean, Jack doesn't do driving games. I absolutely adore driving games. Not only that, I was the biggest fan of ATV Off-Road Fury, all of the MotoGP, like motocross ones back in the day. I played all like the Matt Mira ones, like all that shit back in the day. I rented like every single iteration of those. Excite Bike 64.
Yeah.
I even played the shitty Dirt Tracks FX on Super Nintendo. That was like pre-rendered little sprite of a dirt bike on like FX chip tracks that looked horrible. Played all that shit. I love it.
A motocross game MotorStorm wasn't bad. Like I played a little bit of that.
MotorStorm, yeah, because that was very arcade. Like that was you could just dive in and play.
Yeah,
it.
and that's early PS3, right? So that was really good. Really?
Okay, that's awesome.
Rainbow
KT.
Studios.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
Yeah, we'll definitely get in touch with you about some of that stuff because
Cool,
that would be
cool.
awesome. And Maim Kill, absolutely. Rock and Roll Racing was one of my probably
Everyone
one of
likes
the
Rock and
best
Roll Racing.
Super Nintendo games ever made. Like it was so much fun, and the soundtrack is amazing.
I'm guessing it's probably not available on like their online store. For,
Oh
like, a
God,
Switch or
no! The
anything.
licensing and everything like that.
If only they had a virtual.
Don't worry about it. Ain't gonna happen.
Fuck.
What's that? Oh yeah, Road Rash. Yeah, Discount brought up Road Rash. That is a fucking awesome game.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
But
We still need to figure out which one is the good clone of that nowadays, because there was like 2 or 3 of them, and one was good.
Road Redemption and Road Rage. Apparently, one is better than the other, but they're neither of them very good.
Yeah, they may not live up to the original, which is unfortunate.
I don't think the original lives up to the original anymore.
Speaking of racing that you actually like, apparently Redout is on crazy discount sale right now. It's like $8.
Right.
And it's like a mix between F-Zero and Wipeout.
There was a shit ton of games that are on sale. Actually, they're still on sale until tomorrow on PSN, and I thought to myself, oh, I should buy this game. And I look at my backlog, and I go, what the fuck am I doing? I bought like 4 or 5 games on sale. I still have like literally 100 games in my Steam library.
Yeah.
And
It's the backlog, man. It's rough. Oh, thanks, KT. That's awesome. I'll look forward to that. Whatever it ends up being, I will play the shit out of it.
God bless you, sir.
Yeah.
KTA, love that guy.
And he loves me, but not so much you.
Yeah. Well, you know.
But I think he tells us that every time.
Anyway, it's because I wouldn't join a sex cult.
Oh,
Put him in a bad
of course,
way.
that was it.
Yeah.
It was all about the sex cult.
This Ponzi scheme. It was a horrible thing.
Maim Kill actually brings up this interesting point, and it's kind of this gray area for me. Twisted Metal. So
battle combat driving games.
Yeah, but the thing is why don't they really exist anymore? Like we had the Twisted Metal games back on PS1. We got Twisted Metal Black on PS2.
Yep.
And then we got Twisted Metal
which
on PS3, which was not good.
No, the online one, no.
And they just kind of dropped off after that.
I mean, it's the same thing with
I really feel like they're missing out on that, but we need to get I think what it has to happen is I think it needs to be a cross-platform. So we need to get one that is going to be sold on every system so it sells well.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things they really have to do is I think they have to have fun with it. Like classic Road Trip, Vigilante 8, like those kind.
That's just it. I think it kind of comes in waves. It's the same thing with like the 3D space flight sim.
Yeah.
Like there used to be 100 of them, like Colony Wars, Wing Commander, all those ones, and they just disappeared entirely.
Yeah.
I mean, we're finally getting Ace Combat now after years, right? And the PS3 one doesn't count. I don't care what you say.
Oh, KTA, PlayStation.
Yeah, so like the battle combat game, there were so many people that tried to emulate Twisted Metal. Like, and I think the closest one that came to it was Rogue Trip, which was like by the single track people in a different company anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, I don't even think like Jaffe didn't even do the PS3 Twisted Metal as well as the original one. So, I mean, I just don't think. I think it kind of wore itself out because no one managed to recapture that lightning in a bottle again.
Yeah.
I think that was the problem, really. But I try to think, what was the last one that was like that?
The last one that was like a car combat game.
Yeah.
There's a bunch for Steam actually.
Well,
but they're
Steam
so,
is always
they're so generic and bland that they're not even worth mentioning. Really.
Steam, I can joust with genitals.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
okay.
everything on
Jayfuki
Steam.
says that Jaffe was on the 2012 Twisted Metal for
Yes.
PS3.
No, I'm saying he was on it. I'm saying that he didn't do it as well. Like I remember him on stage.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we're not making Twisted Metal. Oh, look, we're making Twisted Metal. Yeah, I lied. Fuck you. Yeah, that's Jaffe. But the game wasn't as good.
No, it really wasn't.
You know?
And you know what? Honestly, I like that they at least tried something different with it because they couldn't just do the exact same formula. So they tried something different. Unfortunately, it just didn't connect.
It was like an open world team battle Twisted Metal game.
It was really weird.
A radical shift in format.
Yeah, I think what they ultimately need to do is they really need to go back and go to the core mechanics of it.
Yep.
Play a bunch of the old ones. Figure out what really made those fun. and then work up from there, rather than be like, oh yeah, Twisted Metal, that was a bunch of cars with guns, and you can pick up power-ups, and you had a big arena, and then they just make that game and they just shit it out. They need to go back, go to the core concept, and then build it up from there, and then make it more fun and more interactive from that point, rather than just copying what it used to be.
Yeah.
And I think they could do it, especially, again, because this day and age, you have like tons of customization and everything. How cool would it be to have some of the classic Twisted Metal characters, but then have your own vehicles? So you pick from like 10 different vehicles of varying weights and heights and armor and stuff like that, and then going through a storyline and upgrading, getting money to upgrade your weapons and your armor and your abilities and all that kind of stuff. Like, I would play the shit out of that.
Or another idea, get From Software.
Oh, yes.
To make a Base Wars sequel. And you customize all of your mechs.
They're kind of busy with other stuff.
Individually.
Right? Wait, Armored Core Baseball.
Right. Exactly. Like a little bit less, but you're building up your mechs by parts. You know, you're replacing them out. You're swapping them out. You know, these guys have been on the field. They haven't been serviced so long. Base Wars 2, motherfuckers.
Oh, I just imagine a full Armored Core anime mech with a big laser bat.
Right? Right? Who the hell even makes Base Wars? Was it
I don't
Jaleco?
remember. That was like Base Wars came out in like 1989 or something.
No,
like
it's
that.
like ages ago for the Nintendo.
Yeah.
I really want to know, like, who owns that IP? We need to see a Base Wars 2. Holy shit.
If somebody doesn't care about it, we'll buy it.
Super Base Wars.
I have like $5 in my wallet right now. I will buy Base Wars.
You know, when that company, like when various companies go bankrupt, you could scoop up IPs.
Oh, of course, yeah.
For like I could have owned Star Control for like 50 grand or some goddamn thing.
I mean, if you had 50 grand.
If to get Star Control, I would have paid 50 grand.
Yeah.
I would have mortgaged the house. I mean, shit. I don't even know. But let me tell you, Base Wars 2.
I'm down for that. And some Twisted Metal. And some dirt biking. All right.
All right, folks. I think that is a show. That's our show for this week, folks. If you like what we do here, please let us know. Reach out to us on Twitter at @digital_fiasco. We always love to hear from you. Give us some feedback, some ideas, some questions, anything you want to talk about. But we live and die by you telling your friends and your fellow gamers about our show. We've got a lot of new people in the chat. Thank you all for coming out and watching.
And it's the top of the year, so let's start this out with
Happy
a bang
New
here.
Year.
And get all your friends and family in here and have a good time with the discussions and topics and whatnot.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thanks to everyone. I hope you had a good New Year and happy holidays. Everyone who came out tonight, new and old. A lot of people in the chat I haven't seen in a while, especially KTA. Go check out his channel. It's KTA is his new branding. Love him like a brother. He's our #1 fan.
Yeah, good people.
Not so much you, though. Jerk. So, yeah, shout out to It's KTA. In any case, tune in tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Time for the triumphant return of Comic Sans, where Kelly is apparently going to complain about a movie he watched.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's going to be.
And Albel will get his pun pass back for the first one of the year.
Now I can at least I've caught up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. now, so I can listen to them complain about that.
Is it Aquaman?
It's not. It might be Aquaman.
Who knows?
For all I know.
You'll have to tune in tomorrow with the dynamic duo to
curious
figure out
about that.
what he's going to complain about.
I'm actually I'm curious to have a chat with him now that I've seen Into the Spider-Verse and how awesome that was.
Oh, yes.
Such a good movie. All right, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Time, Comic Sans will be on with Kelly and Albel. That'll be great, and we will see you guys then. So if you want to hang around a second, we're going to find someone to raid. Discount, why don't you check to see who it is that's up and streaming that we can go raid?
Probably No Beard.
No Beard?
I just gotta pull it up on Twitch.
Discount's got to do
Does
the
he
thing.
know how to do that?
There is a shortcut there that's listed as following. It indicates who we are following.
Go ahead. Go help him
We're
out.
gonna go stream. We're gonna go raid No Beard.
Okay.
Okay. All right, folks.
On to the raid.
On to the raid. So if you want to stick around for a minute, we'll go raid No Beard, pass that love along to our local Winnipeg streamer. And till tomorrow, we love you. We adore you. Thank you for coming. I'm Jack McBastard.
And I'm Dandr0id.
And this has been Digital Fiasco Live. What a show.
Yeah.
Thanks, folks. We'll see you tomorrow.
Love your faces.
Have a
Bye.
good night.